Okay, I'm late, but I'm earlier than normal, it seems. But what am I going to do? Going to start out things with a really weak start. Okay, and ramp our way up to the mega Giga Bear PDF and see how that all turns out. So let's start off with a concept that's going to bore a lot of people, but does need to be done. At least I feel it needs to be included in this. The battle over diversity training. And it's not quite hiring as my last thing. Many diverse equality and inclusion programs are toxic. I like that. I like the start. I like the start. So we're going along with this particular thing. Blah, blah, blah. All about Chris Rufo. And just to be clear, this is 2 years ago. Trump sort of got rid of the band, all that sort of stuff. Many diversity, equality, inclusion programs are toxic. The laws trying to curb them are worse. Too true, too true. So, block. Not everyone's your friend. White fragility, nice racism. D'Angelo anti-racism is just racism for those of you out there who don't know. So, complaint, blah, blah, blah. I want to get into one particular thing because there was many people, I at least remember, didn't really come up, and I don't know how well these programs fared out. Is there another way to address the polarizing toxic DEI training besides blah, 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 cultural war bluster? Okay, we got this. This is the first thing. I'll probably link this in the post. Moral college courage. I found this quite unique because this is sort of the ideas that I wanted to go with. A little bit way more cringe than what I want to do, but I liked it. I don't know how it really confronts uh, all these sort of things, but anything to replace those toxic and research has shown inefficient and causing more conflict in the workplace, those sort of diversity programs, I am all for. I see. I'm sort of mixed on whether or not to get rid of them altogether. So let's watch this woman. I think it's definitely worth watching. Give a what
Diversity
here?
is not a human construct. It is a fact of life. The question is,
No shit,
are we
Sherlock.
going to use it to rip society apart, or are we going to deploy it to stitch society together?
Stitch
All of us as
society.
human beings,
Stitch
we
and
are born
atom
with a
it
brain
together.
that is scanning for threats 5 times a second. And so when we encounter points of view that differ from our own, that primitive brain makes us feel more stressed.
I don't know
more
how much of this is
defensive
true.
than we mean to be. And that in turn makes us want to lash it back. And we're doing this right across the ideological spectrum now. You're a Democrat.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say to you because we're obviously going to disagree. Oh, you're a Republican. You are evil. And that's all I need.
I mean, this is definitely going to play into my bias, people. Okay. You think this is all bullshit? The rhetoric tends to make me think it might be a little over trumped, but
The
I
problem
like the
with
idea.
labels is not that they are labels.
I like the
The
idea
problem
behind
is
this.
that we human beings are not static. We are constantly evolving, regressing, evolving some more. And what that means is
2
the
steps
way
forward,
to
1
bring
step
people
back,
together,
or
to
the
actually
reverse.
solve nagging problems is to recognize that humanity, not exploit it, but in fact relate to it.
Lame, lame, lame. Well, diversity of tactics. I do agree. Sometimes you should do that. There's a little bit of push and pull with everything out
My name
there.
is Irshad Manji, and today I'll teach you 5 really simple skills
Hey,
that
you're
reduce
losing me, girl.
emotional
Stop
defenses
teaching.
to turn contentious
Dude.
issues into constructive
Joking.
conversations for the sake of taking action together. For a long time,
What's with
I
that?
was what we call today a culture warrior.
Ladies and gentlemen, Irshad Manji.
I have to say, what's with that beginning? You have the whole intro, then you have her coming in. A little lame. But yeah, background, I looked a little bit. Supposedly she's a reformed Muslim. And yeah, Muslim killed. I guess she was a Muslim activist back in the day or something. Never heard of her before, and she's not making the headlines now, from what I know.
And I would turn potentially healthy discussions into noxious debates.
Is your organization also reaching out to mosques and asking them, in fact, demanding of them?
Because I had to win, because I was right. And because I was right, they were wrong.
Very big difference in that respect. But you see, this is where support. But why do I have to push you to give them credit?
Was I moving the needle?
Hell no.
To be clear, I don't know if she's a grifter or not, if she believed these things. Take it with a grain of salt. I like to believe it because it fits into my bias, okay? Disclaimer. I hate them, but I got to put
I
it out.
was actually making my critics more defensive and dogmatic.
We will be back for another head-to-head.
If all you want to do is thump your chest and throw your hands up in victory and claim that you've slam dunked your other. All right? But then
This does seem to be the case, okay? But besides some of the cringy sort of decisions in this little promotional material, and that I can co-sign, except for step one. But even she admits a little new agey, but it makes sense.
that you have
She
zero
makes it make
credibility
sense.
complaining that the so-called other side isn't changing. Because guess what? You haven't given them any incentive to change. To engage actually takes a set of skills, a toolkit that equips us to do two things:
Again,
understand
number
where
one,
other people are
little
coming
lame.
from, and be understood for where we are coming from. And
I
shift
like
the
that.
paradigm from either or to both and.
Eh,
Skill number one: breathe.
diversity of tactics.
Breathe deeply. Yes, I know you can roll
This
your
is the
eyes
funny
at
one.
this. It sounds airy
Yes.
fairy, but
Yes,
when
it
we
does.
breathe deeply, we do something very different than we tend to do as humans under stress. Under stress, we become very shallow breathers. That deprives my own brain of the oxygen that
We become very shallow people also. She goes through her whole scientific thing. I want to claim fair use, so I'm going to skip ahead. And she might be right, she might be wrong. It's good in there.
created. Instead of leaving it
Yes.
up to chance that maybe, just maybe, we'll find something that unifies us before we dive into our
Not in this way,
differences,
though.
try saying,
I like her example.
I know that you and I are going to disagree about this issue.
Very Daryl Davis like, okay. Gonna try to talk to KKK members and reach out to them. I'm a black man. Okay, why do you not like me? Let's hang out. We'll try to figure out why you don't like black people. Maybe your predisposition is wrong. Ever consider that? Let's hang out. Okay, let's just talk like people. Okay, I like the Daryl Davis approach. Okay,
But I also know that you are so much more than just this issue. Can you remember the same about me? Skill number 3. Before stating where you're coming from,
Where's
ask
the
a
example?
sincere question. Be the leader that doesn't need to be right instantly or even all the time. Ask them, what do you think I'm missing? about
Amen,
where you're coming
sister.
from?
Come on.
Be my teacher.
Everyone
That gives me
always
the
having to be
credibility
right all
to
the
be
time.
your teacher later on. You
I
are
don't like the
modeling
sincere part.
what it is to build the kind of culture that makes for inquiry rather than inquisition. Skill number 4. Having now asked a question, what are you going to do? Well, of course you're going to listen. Or are you? There are at least 2 ways to listen. You can listen to win, or you can listen to learn. So, how do you tell
You know, being in a relationship with a woman will teach you this. They don't want an answer. They just want you to listen. And that's frustrating as a male. You're like, what the fuck? Why are you telling me your problems? Okay. Damn. Like, I just need you. Oh,
the difference between the two? Very easily. If I'm listening to win, then in the back of my head, I'm poking holes in the other's arguments. I'm not really trying to learn from that argument. But when I go in
True.
with the mindset that
you can find this with a lot of debate bros and a lot of people in general. Hell, even Dark Viper, someone who tries to stay the hell away from freaking politics, seems to have this approach. Not about what they're trying to argue. It's about how do I defeat it? Because I don't like the general idea behind it.
have something to learn, that I'm not here to change your mind. Quite the opposite. I hope you're going to change mine because maybe I don't get it. When you can sincerely show that this is not a tactic, it's not a tool to manipulate, that's when you're listening to learn. Which brings us to the 5th skill. Ask another question. But this time, start with 3 simple words. Tell me more. I'll tell you about a recent
The
instance
Dave
in
Rubin
which this produced
approach.
great results.
I
A
like
deputy
this as
superintendent of police was at a raucous town hall meeting about homelessness. Activist was yelling at the city councilor. City
But I don't
councilors
know
were
if
not
it's true.
motivated to listen. The police officer approaches her to say, listen, I think we can work something out. Here's my card. Call me. She looks at him. He happened to be a man of color. And she said, you're nothing but a token. And instead of merely reacting to her, he responded, tell me more. She didn't know what to do with that. She expected belligerence. He didn't give it to her. She took his card, and a week later she called and she apologized. I saw your uniform. I'm sorry. I assumed about you what I shouldn't have. And he quickly and graciously accepted, and they moved on to work together on a solution. So none of this is merely theoretical. It is informed by behavioral science. Does that mean that you practice one of these skills and hand-holding harmony will break out? Obviously not. But what you are doing is habituating yourself into a way of being that at the very least will exponentially increase the chances of healthy outcomes to contentious conversations. That assumes you want healthy outcomes. So I bring it back to probably the
Oh, lame buffer. Okay. Screw boo. Okay. General thing. Boring stuff out of the way. I like the ideas behind it, but I really don't know how it really gets into it. She has something about diversity without division, and her DEI, I think she's trying to capitalize diversity, empathy, and inclusion. Okay, so she replaced the other thing. There's probably problems with it, and there's probably better programs out there. I'm just highlighting this was the first one I could find that I could approve of how effective it is. Like, let me get back into the little article where they actually where I found this particular group, and I'm sure there's other people trying to. Yeah, sorry, I you can look her up. I'm gonna link it below. It's moral courage. Yeah, I like her words. I like what she was trying to say. We'll read a little bit more. No, place the wrong thing on. Want to get back to the article. God, my stupidity is gonna hamper down the certain things about this. So she has some things. Okay, so put it back here. You're starting to like her. Yeah, you're sort of gal, I'm guessing. Highly critical of conventional DI. Many of today's anti-racist activists, she says, actively undermine Martin Luther King's ideals of judging people without regarding to color, but she also has extremely harsh words for anti-CRT, anti-DI, anti-woke campaign led on the right by Rufo and his ilk. It's utterly hypocritical. I don't know about that. Rufo has his some good points, and there's a matter of tactics. Okay, I do agree. Him going to sue Disney was probably a hurting thing, but yeah, she also worked with Disney, so take that with a grain of salt. Maybe it wasn't that effective, and who knows? So I'm going to be honest and do it because she's partnered. Who knows how much of an effect she had on Disney? That's probably going to hurt her credibility. But the point there's her philosophy, definitely something I can get behind. Her actual how serious and how anything else she is a little bit different. But I can get behind the general principle there. So now let's get into this little thing. I'm going to have to take a certain tangent, which might not make sense in retrospect. And I haven't talked about it, but I think I should address because it sort of has some link to tonight's topic of the big man Gigabear. Okay, Panda, because he's a furry with. Who knows if he's really a furry, but online he will be claiming to be a furry who's flat inflationist, I believe. Who knows what's true with this guy? But here we have a particular Twitter chain that I want to look at backwards because we're looking at things backwards can sometimes tell you how to go forwards. So we're putting this up here. So it's with the whole Alex CEO of farm folks. Okay, this was quite interesting when I looked into it. This is the first example of him responding to one of the people giving him shit for bending the knee. Okay, keep a clue out for exact timestamps here. This is May 1st, first instance of him responding to this. Okay, give him shit. He said this Alyssa's sort of thing. Another woman. A base life should be all up on. My takeaway: farm folks maintains blah blah blah. Okay, and they focus on this out of context quote. Okay, which is taken from what she's actually saying. Okay, is it deceitful or not? I don't know. I'm taking a nonpartisan view on this. My goal is to express myself and my vision. I'm happy to share it with anyone interested in it. It's true. Seems like we're used as a tool to combat movements. I'm happy to take steps to clarify our intent with everything we do. So, going backwards, get that. He repost, then here. Same guy coming at him again. This is where we get the sort of this is not what I implied. It's misrepresented here. I mean, if you're against blah blah blah. Okay. Another conversation here. Third time is a charm. How about a conversation with Grums then? I have no problem talking with people. I think it's important as long as it's fair and the words are not twisted. And I think most of this comes from this post off of him, the reading comprehension. Okay. Some about that. So some of these are going to be out of date. Did you just play reading comprehension for games fun in your post? Blah, blah, blah. More of this. The point I'm making is a lot of people are coming after him. Thank you for sharing your opinion, not censoring my vision. My comment was actually directed towards the people who have issues with natural body movement in our game, not towards people who appreciate it. I was intentionally misrepresented. Point's going to come up. So why the apology? Is it a joke? We've been under a lot of pressure. The stress, the wording on the post is not the best. We apologize for the wording. We apologize for the apology of the wording. Not feature, blah, blah, blah. It's unfortunate. I feel tool combat of the other side. I think you're being used as a tool for everyone. Okay, so this is what sort of did it before. Afterwards, why you should never apologize to cancel pigs. So he was getting shit from black girl gamers. So something happened. So he issued this apology and took down the badly worded joke there. So how do I go forward? Fucked up there. So a lot of this stuff happens afterwards. Talking to a lot of people. A lot of people are talking. I just want to highlight this. All the people he's talking to. Definitely, sorry you're getting harassed over Alyssa's fanfic. Unfortunately, I was trying to be honest about my intent. There's the Grums thing come up again. Okay, I'm doing this just backtracking. No sort of false narrative here. Just backtracking. No clue what that means. Here's someone coming on Hayden. Not Hayden, but man, you chose to bend the knees to activists. There isn't a single game that broke with the woke thing. They complain won't buy your game. Nasty this is the one I don't. Also, the ones you called nasty people are over 400K on Steam. Talking about Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, I guess. And you picked 100 blue hair women instead. Not the smartest move you done. I didn't call our fans nasty. My points were misrepresented, probably to fuel the culture war. Just keep at it, guys. Keep on. And he's gracious enough to respond to certain people, okay? And this is the post. Summarize experience, blah, blah, blah. And here we get to the famous thing. Hi, Elisa. You've been using me as a tool against your nemesis. I'm not sure if it was intentional or accidental. Good way to put it. You misrepresented a few of my points in our dialogue. You agreed to have all cool to have women's breast. You reached me for clarification. on yourself and refused to share it with your readers on X. She did add the clarification to the actual article. Seems like a little bit nitpicky here. Okay. But she probably definitely did have a motivation of doing this. Okay. I'm not standing for this girl at all. She probably knew what she was doing. But damn, they definitely came after her. Hi, Alex. I've never heard about farm folks after the recent drama. Internet brought me here. People who came to hate your game aren't gamers. They believe they're at war, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and here we get the good old Gigabear. Join in what, locally might seem like gaslighting, okay? This strikes me as a little gaslighty. Continuously be like, we're willing to talk to him. And I wonder if I know he talked to Hypnotic, one of the big people going after Alyssa right now. He appeared on he appeared on that man's stream along with a couple others. I watched a bit of it. He seemed cool. Okay. But they got this guy on their side. And thank you for all your support and emotion. This week has been an emotional roller coaster. So first, the other side, Black Gamer Girls and other progressives gave him shit. Alyssa gave him a chance to air this out after the other side, anti-woke people, gave him shit for apologizing to the woke people. And then they start sort of being like, oh, sorry. And now we have this sort of anti-people start hosting him. Okay. Discusses his journey in the gaming industry and the controversy surrounding the X post about jiggle figures and his interview with Senior Otaku that smeared his reputation, his stance on the culture war, and much, much more. You guys flamed the flames for that. You were all for being like, bitch, you went with her and you said this about, no, I didn't. So she misrepresented me. Oh, but former language barrier, because he's not English. Interview was in English. Maybe Alyssa misunderstood him. Okay. He doesn't know if it was attention or not. People are just running with that narrative. And that's all I got on that. A lot of people sort of jumped into it saying things like he should sue. Like this person in particular was right up on his balls trying to talk to him at a certain point. But you know what? Sorry, boring everyone with all this fun stuff. Clarifications coming at him. Feels like gaslighting to me or some manipulation. Manipulated by both sides. An emotional roller coaster, he said himself. And yeah, I like this. Why the apologies? A joke under all. A lot of pressure, word of stress, getting pulled back and forth. This guy, quite interesting. How about a conversation with Grumps then? Again, curious if this conversation ever happened. Not hinting at anything. My previous video had some interesting claims. Anyone has any issues with it, wants me to review it, wants to challenge me on it, you can do that after the Gigabear saga. So let's get into it. I think that's enough of a cold opening. Yep, over 20 minutes. Got a little video prepared for everyone. Might add some extra commentary in there, but who knows how this is going to go. Invited the big man Gigabear to come to maybe push back on some of the supposed lies that was contained within this PDA. I'm a little suspicious of certain points, but if the screenshots are all real in it, you can still take away something that isn't really within the PDA. So let's go down the Gigabear rabbit hole now. And luckily, I can take a little break because pre-recorded content. And that'll be beautiful. Roll that beautiful pre-recorded content. Although probably a complete waste of time on a complete spurg and rather unpleasant person who I want to call a troll, but more of a lolcow trying to get his grubby little furry fingers trying to get his fat little furry fingers into whatever sort of mess he wants to sort of advocate for.
If I need to
So we
slow
have
down, let me
Gigabear,
know.
And with pandas sometimes.
I can understand
depends.
myself with that.
So you can find some stuff there out on the internet.
I'll also link this down below after the stream. So in case you want to use any of this or just mock me with it, go ahead.
I think I stumbled upon something that might be missed on some of the, drama sites. Maybe something with the K with the farms. Not that there's a thread for this big guy yet. Lots of rumors, lots of speculation because he likes to run his mouth in Discord and Reddit and so many different places. Then delete it all, and even possibly maybe requesting the Wayback Machine not host some of the cringe that he put out there. All of this is speculation, okay? Take all this with a grain of salt. There's a lot out there. I stumbled upon this very interesting thing. So I believe the suspended account is GigaBearPanda, and they even have a parody account. They have hateful things. So yeah, this is why I think the suspended account, the only way I can think to drop the whole Gigabear persona when it comes to game and community, perhaps make a new account and try to start fresh in the community.
Okay, I'm going a little bit faster with this. I had a slow start. Make sure it's comprehensible in the stream later. And yeah, this is going to be Vincent Martin on Vincent Martin with commentary. So, Vin, living up to that name I was given.
Blah, blah. Obviously a parody account. A hater of Gigabear. The problem is it sounds more like a bribe than anything else. Offering not to blemish a studio's name in public anymore, as he's done since 2018 in return for a kickback, is the definition of blackmail. I think that's actually more extortion. Sorry to correct Giga P Bear here. Here's another quotation marks blackmail threat, which was made about 24 hours ago. Also reported to Discord Trust and Safety. Blank post that one more time, and I'm making one on Steve. Try me. Geez, what server is that in? Deleted after he was informed that threatening a third party also constituted quotation marks blackmail. But I guess it was actionable, but that's not where I really want to go. So it's this, the parody account. I want a second civil war, and I will dox you if you don't give me what I want. I would have just shared this link, but I'm worried. So here is the study into Gigabear. Not going to go over all the little details. Slow down, pause if you want to see all the particular little issues that is going to come up in this PDF, which is 95 pages. A study into Gigabear. Update March 2021. Gigabear remains an infamous former member of the Ash of Creation's Discord and has moved into being a social media terrorist. Quotation marks around that. He's been banned from Ashes of Creation community twice, lost his Ashes game account for possible legal actions twice. He has also been banned from Champions Online and World of Warcraft communities. Why not relevant in and of itself? It does demonstrate a pattern of behavior we will explore. In the emails he sends to Blizzard staff automatically gets routed to customer service and the legal team. He continues to engage in a campaign of dishonest, hoping to damage the reputation of Intrepid Studios and Steve Schraff. Apologize for my horrible pronunciation of any of these names going forward. Let us take a look at the story of this insanity and why.
And I give up
you
at
can
a
never
certain
trust
point.
anything Gigabear says. Relevant timeline. Gigabear joined the Ashes of Creation community in March 2018. On 20 October 2018, Gigabear lost a Battle Royale match versus D Phantom TV while Danny was streaming. The clip of Danny's win gets pushed out on social media by Steve on behalf of Intrepid, and Gigabear takes it as a personal attack. Gigabear claims he lost due to a bug. On
Did I not edit this
27
shit out?
October 2018, Gigabear
Okay. Keep it up, man. Like,
receives his
Fucked up
first
on the
Discord
editing.
ban. Part of the ban is due to his behavior after the clip went viral.
That should have all been edited out. Yeah, keep going, me.
His never understanding it was not a slight against him. Just a congratulation, a streamer for a good win. On about 6 November 2018, Gigabear first Discord ban was reversed and he was allowed to return to the community.
On 15 November, he was banned from Discord a second time after throwing a temper tantrum in Discord, not being selected as a moderator. He was subsequently carpet banned from all Intrepid Studios, Ashes of Creation, social media, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, etc., due to his behavior and his smear campaign. Finally, he was banned from the game after doxing the president of Intrepid, John Moore. He received a second game ban for buying a gray market Kickstarter account and trying to join the Phoenix Initiative program with it. Things he has done. Since he has gotten away from the Ashes of Creations community, he has committed the following acts. Doxed John Moore and released his home address via Twitter, ran a background check on Steve Schraff, and distributed the document. Doxed a community member via Twitter, created over 50 alt accounts on Discord to ban evade, including blah, 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 disrupted the Extra Life charity event in 2018 by spamming ads at Discord staff during the D&D campaign, threatened a hunger strike if this ban was not reversed. That's sort of funny there. From what I know, supposedly furry with a sort of fat inflationist. I believe that's the term for that particular fetish. Accuses people of forging comments. And I don't even know if it's true. There's so much untruth out there about this man. Hell, he might have started some of the rumors himself, as far as I know. Shit. Later admitting to making them. Attempting to get Discord trust and safety to close the official Discord. Failed. Attempting to hijack the Reddit. Failed. Created a unofficial Discord to undermine Intrepid and Ashes of Creation. Okay. Looks like those are all statements of facts. Well, not facts. Again, take all this with a grain of salt. I guess those were the opening statements about the study on Gigabear. Again, I'm not going to be going all this stupid stuff, so please take the time to pause this video in any form if you want to read all this particular thing. You can try to go see this. You can clearly see the URL up there if you really want to, or go to the Gigabear account that pretty much has this in the bio. I think it's safe, but I think there is reason to believe that Gigabear could have created this document himself. You just never know with this guy. I don't think he did that. I just need to qualify is take everything anyone says about this guy with a grain of salt and laugh at him. Because assume it's true. Because it's funny. When someone's living a lie. Too true. Too true, me. From what I've seen, he definitely has some really sketchy and sort of features. Wow. Also, disclaimer, for legal reasons, of course, and ethical legal reasons. Take this with a grain of salt. We have Gigabear. Doubled up on the disclaimer there. So small that I can't even see. No clue about that. I'll do that. Yeah, I put this reading within the description this section. Particular part here. If you want to skip the stream and just get into the meat. Teslan insinuates Gigabear has no clue about game development. In response, Gigabear indicates Joel is making presumptions about his skill set. One, Gigabear admits via Twitter that he was never... Yeah, what's with these weird names, okay? I just start going with J, okay? I think Jalen or J-Law. I forget. Fuck pronunciation, okay? That's how the man controls us, with weird names to make sure we pronounce things correctly. If not, we're transphobic or racist or some other is, okay? I don't buy into that shit, okay? In a proper alpha. 2, Gigabear admits massively OP to having no industry experience. Okay. The question then becomes, speed it up. What, if any, clue about game development does Gigabear have? If he admits none, having neither industrial experience nor proper alpha testing experience, Let me do this highlight section here. Speaking of the game, ugh. Speaking of industrial spirit.
See,
Okay, take again. Speaking of industry experience, you're right. I have
failure,
not.
failure,
Didn't realize
failure.
this was a requirement.
Rather
Gigabear
just
clearly
make
has
fun of
issues with
myself
honesty and
my poor
integrity.
editing.
Gigabear clearly has issues with honesty and integrity. At this point on the MMORPG forums, he claimed people have baited and trolled him into making certain statements. This is collaborated by a tweet where he admits making a statement. Again, yeah, imagine if I was trying to do this fucking live without the assistance of the speed tool. Can't trust anything this guy says. Eventually, I made a statement. To this day, Gigabear claims that he's not a toxic individual. To this day, Gigabear claims he is not a toxic individual. Well, it's because you can play language games. The left does it all the time. What is woke? So what is toxic individual here? I guess you can't play that sort of games. Going so far as demanding citation outside of his personal Twitter account, which he claims is not intrepid platform nor moderated by them. Being toxic is not contained to the platform which you are discovered being toxic. Interestingly enough, proof of such toxic behavior does exist in the official Ashes of Creation Discord. You can see on 25th of September 2018, he calls people out for using the word idiot and retards and how they do not for a healthy community mix. Yet, when you check the chat history from earlier in the year, specifically when he had just joined the Discord, no less, you can see him throwing around the word idiots. Interestingly, on 26th of March, he says idiots.
I almost want to skip this whole fucking section here, but for posterity, I included it. Okay, this whole lame sort of blah blah blah. Some people are fine with hitting people with the hypocrite. He called people idiots. Yeah, he's willing to call it lame in my book, but you know what? Maybe I even say that in this recording. Who knows? I tried to keep the commentary down there.
Who don't know what pre-alpha means, however, as already stated, he's admitted to never being in a proper alpha, having no industry experience, so how would he know what pre-alpha means? In fact, there's no industrial standard for the term pre-alpha. Generally speaking, everything that happens prior to the alpha testing is pre-alpha, including development, internal testing, tech testing, closed testing, commonly referred to as friends and family tested. Now, far be for me to tell someone they can't refer to people as idiots. I would never do. Censor someone.
And the autistic details the PDF really gets into. There's little mistakes here and there, and I think it annoy me here and there. But fair enough. You want to be as detailed and autistic as possible to try to make a best case for the thing you're arguing in this PDF. PDF? Yeah, PDF. I got that right. Not PDA announcement.
I am simply obligated to point out you can't try to take the moral high ground and be covered in the murk and mud from the trenches. As Zillage points below the citation, neither Giga himself identifies as an unhealthy member of the community, or he simply places himself above the standard and is allowed to call people idiots, yet no one else is. Gigabear did, however, want to cite not from his own Twitter, and it has been provided. Gigabear did, however, want a citation not from his own Twitter, and it has been provided. Interestingly enough, the reason why Gigabear was banned from the official Discord on 15th of November 2018 was because he was not selected nor considered as one of the new moderators when Steve selected, let's call him FNC, as the new NAEU moderators. Ironically, you can see here he states his abilities as Discord mod are severely lacking. People with borderline personality disorders probably should be given some room, but there should be a firm hand handled with them. And they probably shouldn't be in positions of power. No offense to them. Probably depends on the severity of their mental illness. The moderation selection process. The moderation selection process. In fairness to the situation, we must take a look at the moderator selection process to see if it was fair.
If the process was fair, then arguing with two moderators, a senior moderator and the CEO and chat channel about the process is.
Oh, hello there. Okay, this is my pre-recorded streaming, sped up for the sake of autism. But I will be doing commentary and answering any questions that come in chat. Just to make that clear, when you see this light below, that's me real time. You don't see it,
is uncalled for. That is, if you're arguing about the fairness of it. That is, if the
This
process
is me
was
on the
unfair, then
pre-record.
we would have to examine if the ban was justified. Again, take with a grain of salt. I'm not going to read all these. They look legit. It would be nice if people would confirm this stuff, but Gigabear is probably not that high up on the totem pole to get an official statement about this spurg. So, as posted from the hashtag welcome channel on the day in question, moderators are members chosen by Steven to maintain the peace. That is the process being chosen by Steven. That seems fair enough of a sort of condition for the role of moderator. Gigabear wants transparency, obviously not with his actions. Unsure what is not transparent of being handpicked. He wants an application. Unsure why he assumes there would be an application.
I have to say, I like the transparency idea that Gigabear has. Never a bad thing, okay? Transparency is great, especially when someone's suspecting you of a scam. Lauren, sorry about the meta commentary there. It fits into some of my overall goals. Out of context, it might not make sense.
Another moderator on staff addresses his concerns. Moderators don't apply, they are selected. So the process is fine as it was. It was stated in a channel prior to the date. You can make it out.
Found anything interesting, Lucifer? I mean, yeah, interesting guy. Tried to talk to him a bit, even invited him here to clear up or maybe give us some missing context. But you know what? He's a busy bear. He's part of the fight to go against DEI, and he knew he would be targeted just by random people like me, I guess. Fuck. He should appreciate the attention. I doubt many people will give it to him, but he'll get a little bit. He has his 15 minutes of fame. August 11th, 2018. And Steven followed the process. Not liking the process is fine, but how do you handle your displeasure is the heart of the matter. As you can see here, Gigabear tries to force a relationship between his stance on the NDA. There's that thing coming up again. Interesting. And him not being selected for moderator. The critical piece of this is that he has already been banned prior to the selection for moderator. And a formerly banned member, only recently back from a ban, is probably not qualified to be a moderator. Additionally, he has a history in other communities, which any vetting of a new moderator would have discovered. At this point, on 15 November 2018, he is banned a second time, this time permanently for throwing a temper tantrum in Discord. Yeah, everyone wants to be on the right side. Okay, what is the right side? What's the wrong side? Always hard to tell. History is told by the victors, they say. It's the problem with the first Gamergate. The victors seems to have been the journos and, the progressive side. So that's the official record. This time around, I think the right ones are going to win, okay? I shouldn't call them right because they're a diverse set of people. They just want some of this activist crap out of their hobbies, their medium, which I can respect. I want it out. I just have a higher standard for what's considered woke or DEI. And I'm a little bit more moderate with what I think should be allowed. It's not trying to go for diversity and stuff. It's the stupid ass process that some people, because I'll keep on saying, 80s started approving, 90s we were doing great with diversity, even early 2000s. It's not until we got into the later era of the 2000s that the divide started happen. They started forcing this shit down our throat. And that's not everyone. That's a select group. Okay. So going back to what we were doing in the 90s is good. Okay. How do we do it? How do we get back? We got to fight these stupid ideas, but we need to fight these stupid ideas honestly, not by fucking with people in this particular way. Yeah, you can have your jokes, but you should, when it comes down to the brass tacks, you should be able to answer and give some transparency if you want to be on the right side.
just an opinion of mine. I guess some people would disagree with that. It is important to note that it wasn't just Steven, the moderators, or even the official content creators who had an opinion about Gigabear on the day in question. But generally, the community
I like the
members that
early
was trying
2000s, but
to
the
get
90s were good.
reined him in.
I was probably
Let me
too
try that
young then.
again. The general community managers were trying to rein him in as well. I'll read this top one and top responses because it's funny. Gigabear, do you ever stop and consider maybe everyone disagrees with your statement that you may be the only one in the wrong? Gigabear, you have to be careful of how you word your statements. They can be misunderstood if not phrased properly. Giga, come on, be realistic. You barely escaped a permaban. Now you're complaining you didn't make mod. Calm down to earth, man, and be thankful you can still post. These are just regular community members trying to talk him down from the rant he was on prior, both to his October 2018 and November 2018 bans. Unfortunately, when he was banned, all of his Discord messages got deleted as well. Gigabear, well, I'm going to go ahead and call for a complete reset of volunteer moderators on the official media AOC Discord server. Those positions should have been handled in an open and transparent manner with a full application process. So all interest.
Okay. Just for the record, some of the stuff he says like this, I have no clue about. But you legitimately, when you're considered such a joke in a certain community, when you try to take this sort of call to action when everyone hates you. I don't know if everyone hated him. This document makes it seems like no one liked him. And given what I can, it seems like the case. So this is like some sort of weird call. I would definitely find some shit with this if just some rando who's known for spurging out and talking crazy just went off like this on a Discord. Just putting it out there. Nothing inherently bad sometimes, but just the source and everything around.
Parties could be considered. That's a pretty high level of arrogance attached to the statement. You have a member of a community who had just gotten over being banned, calling for a complete reset of the volunteer moderator staff and dictating how the process should have been handled when quite literally the selection process was handpicked by the owner of the company. Oh,
you might like I did this. I'm kicking myself for not editing this more, but shit. Very professional.
Authoritarianism. It should be a
Try
democracy.
and get some flow to it.
It is pretty evident when someone says Gigabear was banned for throwing a temper tantrum about the moderation process that is not a smokescreen to cover up any NDA BR statements. He got bent out of shape about the moderator thing. Gigabear, my intent is to do as they said they would. What people paid the money for, based doing the mod thing, it was dumb, I grant you. Had I said nothing, I still would have gotten the boot. At least he finally comes to the conclusion that what he did was dumb. Gigabear, even viewed in the worst possible light, my action pales in comparison to the toxicity of ashes of creation community. Wow, threats of violence, malicious, and attempt doxing, swatting, and after orchestrating my ban for having an opinion they couldn't refute but dislike, the voices are nowhere to be heard. Maybe you should think about this. Nobody is on your side with this. Everyone thinks you're insane. Many people try to talk you off the ledge. See,
oh yeah, I asked him just to clarify. Wanted it for the record. Is he a troll, a lolcow, or just insane? He went with just insane. Okay, just let the record show. I at least did some research and tried to talk to him about it. Tried to get his side. Didn't get much, but I did get he's just insane.
B2 slides up, but you refuse to even acknowledge that they were trying to help you. Also, no one tried to get this individual swatted. He did get investigated by the FBI, which should tell you something about his behavior pattern. Am I missing something here? Or is he going to get into this? There's just so much with this. Just to let you know, this guy who links this is attached to this. This, I guess, is some of the sources that have not been thing. So you have the NDA. I'm talking about the NDA here with this. Seeing if there's anything really relevant in any of this. Even getting ads on Wayback Machine. Past issues with other communities. If, as Gigabear stated, Intrepid has censorship issues, then Gigabear has an integrity
20th
issue.
page here.
As you can see, he publicly lies, saying he never even got remotely fair hearing about being in the MVP program for Blizzard. Then it comes to light,
he contacted them directly and asked them to remove him from consideration. But can we believe him? Could be a complete pathological liar. It was outright told that due to his harassment of Blizzard employees, his emails would be routed via customer service and the legal team for review and action. Only thing I can read here is email redacted. As interesting developments on 21 February 2021. Thank you. This account forum posts privileges have been revoked due to a history of suspensions. The community team ultimately decided to not make this permanent, which is why the forum moderators have not overturned it from your previous request. Up arrow KAL. So apparently he has been banned in other communities. The irony of saying he has a mere 3-day suspension. Clearly he does not have a discipline issue. Except for 4 bans from Intrepid, those now 2 bans, gaming and community from WoW. The community 1 from Champions Online, so no history of discipline issues, except on previous slides where he has a history of suspensions. This remains the only game I can recall being banned from. Okay, I don't want to use anything from Kiwi Farms, but I definitely looked at the Kiwi Farms on this. Okay. And this delete me thing down here, you see the cursor? That's a bit funny. I don't know the full context. Kiwi Farms links, as I said, a lot of stuff is out of the thing. I don't know if he's covering his tracks or whatnot. It's just a little bit hard to get down to the brass tacks with this man. Except when you let him talk and talk and talk. Then he will admit that he was banned from a server in his 20s. And then he laughs about how bad he is and that he considers his current behavior reformed. Every single thing he says can be discovered to be a lie if you just let him keep talking. Here's a link for this and a certain site with a KF. Delete me. Delete me. Why quit Champions Online? Oh, here. This is actually very relevant. Just because you deleted it does not mean you never said it, y'all. You know, I wonder y'all. Because with the thinking face, I retracted it. Oh, I deleted it. Ha ha ha. Here I can. When it comes to Champions Online, he went on long tirades about the company and the developers, but when lacking any integrity, he doubled back and deleted those posts, much like he does with his Twitter rants about Intrepid, even though he knows for a fact his Twitter is being archived. Maybe I should ask him about if he sent in that request for the Wayback Machine to be deleted, but that's probably not going to stop. No, I didn't. I should have. Fuck. Oh, well. I think engaging with him further might be seen as harassment, so I'll avoid it, unless he says something relevant. Personal people of keeping personal records. When you reach this certain level of notoriety. As you can see above, his belief is that his statement means you never made it. For someone who spends as much time spouting knowledge of the law, you would think that he would know better about what a retraction is and what it does and what it does not accomplish. This really sounds like rules for me, not for thee. Just how it's coming across to me so far. Intellect and personality defects, and it's reiterated down there. As we do not have access to Gigabear's educational records, we cannot assert how he did in school. We are forced to rely on observations of behavior. And yet, to paint an accurate picture, we must allow him to self-diagnose some of his conditions as an explanation for his behavior. Give it a... Bad people do not get behind self-diagnosis. It's something Demon Mama tried to propagate that even most leftists said bullshit to. Okay, for those of you who don't know who Demon Mama is, be thankful. Be very, very thankful. Think Keffels is bad? You don't know Keffels? Again, be thankful. A minute. Going on. Take it all on in, folks. I was never officially diagnosed, but I'm convinced I'm autistic. There's more. I was diagnosed officially as having Tourette's and ADHD. Early on, I was declared mentally challenged and had a speech impediment. Besides, I was quite withdrawn, going through life with almost in a daze. There's something concerning about an individual who claims he's been declared a mentally deficient, diagnosed with ADHD and Tourette's, and is convinced he's autistic, but then turns around and claims he understood his schoolwork better than his teachers, and they resented him for it. This may either be a cry for help, a routine for attention, or indication of narcissistic personality disorder. Not going to touch this disassociate. Today, I had to give Gigabear a bit more agency than usual. Definitely sounds like he's trying to say multiple personality disorder, or as it's currently classified, DID, dissociate identity disorder. Says that these statements indicates he believes that Gigabear, it's Gigabear who believes that Gigabear is a separate and distinct personality other than his own. This is highly indicative. Sorry, this is highly indicative of dissociate identity disorder, multiple personality disorder. Didn't even need to read that to assert that. Okay. Maybe that's just what he wants you to think. Maybe if I go on hunger strike, I'll get unbanned. But if you go on hunger strike, you'll no longer have the bigness that you seem to enjoy. I don't know. Maybe that stuff is just rumor. Okay. As you can see, there's some very serious cries for attention and possibly help. Threatening a hunger strike over a video game, wanting to be in prison, not on a Discord. Maybe he can't help himself, guys. Okay. At several points in the last few years, Gigabear may have lost touch with reality. It should be noted from historical records, whenever he reaches these levels of insanity, he is always reminded to call pretty much the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Nice of people to remind him of this crap. Although he's banned several people, though he has banned, okay, I read that right. Though he has banned several people from the community from even posting this Twitter, so we can't ensure he gets the information he needs when he needs it. Frankly, this almost comes off as concern trolling. Lastly, his addiction to drama cannot be documented enough here on his new Twitter account after having lost the last one due to trademark infringement. How do you lose it? I'm assuming that's his claim because I don't know how you could lose a Twitter account due to trademark infringement. Maybe. He says on January 4th, he is exiling himself from Ash of Creation community, but only for 6 weeks because after yelling about stocks and space and whatever else, he had to come back to the Ash of Creation. Omissions of guilt. If I actually broke the rules, I would accept my punishment and walk. I didn't, at least to any degree that's deserved, but what's been done to me in this situation. Wish there was actually dates on this. This was my first infraction on Discord, the normal procedures to issue warnings and discipline with progressively longer mutes until it's a ban. In my case, the entire penalty system was leapfrog. Some people in the guild diplomacy have been muted many, many times now. Probably depends on the infraction that you incurred and the rules of the community that you're in. Without knowing the rules, we don't know if that's correct. It's not just a standard set of rules. Again, that's even assuming any of this is true. Read the first part. Greetings, voice of dissent here, banned for opinion. Just in case he wants to claim he made a typo on his Twitter and didn't mean infraction, he very clearly screams, first infraction, on this post on YouTube. So either one, he had no infractions and his community ban was unfair, or two, he did have infractions that he admits to and he deserved the community ban. I don't like this logic, but I'm not reading this post. I'm just reading it, guys, just to let you know. Just going over all the information. Case in point from prior to his first ban. Giga has a expectation of how a moderator should address an individual. Alluring engages with him along the exact lines he requests, and she does so for a full 24 days prior to his second ban. Wow. That's really respecting the big man's authority. Or that is being very, very nice. She informs. Damn. See, if I would have edited this down more, I would have done totally respect my authority. I can't do a good fucking Cartman impression. There are some things you can't do well in just this sort of format. Okay. And yeah, Witcher 3. Probably overall better than Skyrim. The only good thing about Skyrim, that I would say over it, would definitely be what is it called? You can build your own character. Okay, you can role play a little bit better since you're not stuck in the role of Geralt. One, that what he's doing is inappropriate. He's not being constructive. Not sure if I agree with that. I mean, the compliment sandwich or the inverse can work. Okay. 2, she offers him another solution, formal complaint. 3, she indicates to him that this is not his first warning, progressively discipline. This is a textbook moderation in action. Available on Discord. Conveniently, when Gigabear claims he has no knowledge of the lore and ever speaking those words to him, although her statement remains accessible on Discord. Also, where this is required of a formal warning is via DM coming from Discord's TOS. The company is not required to provide you any notice from Discord's TOS. The company is not required to provide you with any notice or warning prior to such termination. If you violate these terms, the company reserves the right to issue you a warning regarding the violation. This whole document could have been just, summarized and sort of eclipsed, not be this fucking long. It just goes into autistic detail. That's my main problem with it. And I really wish I had some confirmation on any of this crap, but get out there for public information, okay? Oh, God. Listen. Or immediately terminate or suspend any or all accounts you have created using the service. You agree that the company need not provide you the notice before termination or suspending your accounts, but may do so. If Discord doesn't need to issue a warning, then why would the moderators at Ash of Creation's Discord be required to? Again, I wish I had a real date on these. On the mission of the infraction on Discord over, Gigabear complains that his Twitch ban was upheld based on a history of infractions. Okay, I'm not seeing. Maybe they put the wrong word in there, Twitch ban, or not providing the proper screenshots. There's some issues with this here and there. Well, I'm not one to talk about that. On other platforms, yet lies and states I have no infractions on the official Discord, except when he both tweeted and posted on YouTube about his first infraction on the Discord. So 1 equals 0 or 0 equals 1. That cannot be, as he has already self-diagnosed in an earlier tweet. His way of viewing the world is very literally A plus A, thus 1 infraction equals 1 infraction. So he knows he had the infraction. A very clinical diagnosis of this, I must say. Additionally, because the due diligence had been done regards to how moderators interacted with him, Allure's comment to him shows that at least a warning about his behavior in reference to a previous situation. He has gone from no infractions to at least 1 infractions and 2 warnings. So here we see Gigabear received at least another warning. This would have come post-ban. So far, the progressive discipline has been at least 1 moderator, at least 2 moderator warnings, correction, alluring, a ban, another warning, right here. Community member intervention, another ban, as he states after his second ban. All of these messages between his first ban and second ban were deleted, making it difficult to piece together the interaction. However, there have already been enough posts in just normal community members telling him there was an issue. How can you claim to have a member in high regards when you needed to be told by your peers to stop your poor behavior? So follow the logic here. If you send another ticket, your account will be deleted. Another ticket was sent in, and subsequently his account was banned. So the logical thing is to appeal the ban. No doubt by created a different Zendisk account that thus ban evaded. This is his logic. Even though he has admitted to the fractions, he will say his community. Just to let everyone at home know, I had to do this in several little chunks and segments because it's so brain-numbingly off the chain. Oh, God. I'm trying to even comprehend what I'm going through here. I'm like, is there any commentary I can provide? Extra thing? No, I can't. Sorry. I will, but I can't. The access were wrongly taken. And the few slides we're going to discuss is even possible criminal activity where he has stalked both John Moore and Stephen Schreff. Release their home information. Oh, stalking. I really wish people would use definition of word correctly. Okay. I have to agree with Alyssa on some points. I fucking hate that, but fucking words have meanings. Use them, motherfucker. Maybe this counts as stalking. Who knows? Almost seems like it could. Give or take. Who the hell knows? I'm not going to pull up the definition. Actually, maybe I should just make sure. And result of a background check he run on Steve. Through it all, Gigabear maintained it is Steve who was motivated by hate. But to date, Intrepid Studios has not accidentally leaked user's real name, address, or other personal information. Strange how it's happened. All the aggressive actions are so one-sided. If he wants the situation resolved, he can restore my community and game access, which were wrongly taken, or continue as we are, where nobody wins and nothing good comes out of it. I expect the later will happen because he's motivated by hatred, not logic or reason. Infiltrating the Phoenix Initiative. Infiltrating the Phoenix Initiative. After being banned on his main account, Gigabear secured a second account. This one Kickstarter account, though gray marked, means Gigabear spent $2,000 to gain access to a backer tier to get access to a NDA channel. He managed to get identified as not the original account holder, 2, the guy they had banned from their Discord. Even after this guy broke the term of service a second time to use a transfer account and upgrade it, Intrepid refunded his upgrade money, even though they didn't have to. Seems odd action for a company that Gigabear says is a bunch of scammers. So you can't. Yeah, well, they actually refunded stuff on even stuff he purchased on the illegally attained alt account. Very interesting. Sounds rather ethically sound. Okay. It is in fact true. Some game developers, so, they feel like they're being scammed and ask for money back. Would be weird to ask them for certain qualifications to get it back. Interesting. But you can't trust a lot of things out there from certain sources. Can't take his claims of scamming correct. Random toxic behavior. Evidence of Gigabear's toxic nature. The idiot comments from earlier. A little bit light, okay. Definitely annoying and hypocritical. I'd probably think of a different word, but fair enough. Creation Discord to Discord trust and safety in order to get it closed. He failed. He tried to hijack the Reddit. He failed. So by your own words, you went to someone's YouTube account, posted a message to them, and when they responded, it's not possible for them to have been bullying you because they're responding. Sounds good. One tweet, Gigabear will comment about a third party who's complimenting. How do you say that? Just long. However, then he goes to Paradox Gaming Network YouTube channel and says the channel owner is the most dishonest person he has ever personally dealt with in his entire life. Oh, yeah, this whole saga is actually quite interesting. Okay. I wish I had access to this particular thing here, but I think this PDF really highlights it's deleted now because, you don't want to embarrass blah, blah, blah. There seems to be some disconnect here as he claims the Joshuan or whatever is taking action that can be considered cyber stalking, bullying, and that he is blocking Jay here on every platform, including this one, YouTube. Yeah, he goes on to leave funny messages on the YouTube videos on Paradox Gaming Network YouTube channel. To date, Gigabear continued to engage Jay directly on social media. To date, Gigabear continues to engage with Jay directly on social media, has not retained a lawyer, and has not contacted him through a law enforcement agency. You will notice. So, if all this is true, Gigabear can't be trusted. Claims he's made can't be trusted. Keep that in mind, folks. Why have all the disclaimers on 31 January 2019, Gigabear J, you are preemptively blocked on this platform and all others which you have at present I'm aware of. Several months later, Gigabear comments on Paradox Gaming News YouTube channel, which has already been established. Gigabear knew it was Jay's channel since Gigabear made a personal attack against Jay. There seems to be a certain level of confusion here. I commented on his own comments in a public forum. Cyber stalking, bullying. There seems to be a certain level of confusion here. I'll say that. This is the sort of social media terrorism. Wow. The rather big word, terrorism, that Gigabear resorts to. You can see he created 4 different Reddit accounts to start 4 different threads to try to get his point across. Worst part is he actually thinks it went well, creating 4 threads that were instantly locked before the first comment was even made. Doesn't really show it went well. Just wondering, what would it really bad would have looked like? People just totally ravaging him in the threads, all 4. As you can see, he's premeditated in his decision to continue his social media campaign of harassment. You're confused. I made it obvious. Next time, it won't be. And it won't be one platform. It will be all of them outside the ones that they actually own. Just for the record. No, I admit to be ready, willing, and able to ensure accountability. I think social media terrorism is a little extreme, but I would say, I would definitely say a bit threatening. Terrorism is not a word I place on just someone threatening to do some sort of veiled thing that ensures accountability. Okay. Finally, we see he now has plans to create a new account. Finally, we see he now has plans to create a new account to continue to smear Intrepid because he wants to remove from the accounting of his prior bad acts, including disassociating from the chronicles of his bad behavior. Completely shameless, size assess, avid gamer. Still, that's either shill or still a ash of creation backer and community figure whenever Intrepid Studios like it or not. Okay, whether Intrepid Studios like it or not. Had a decent following at some point? Yes, I like my Twitter, and my tweet was sent from my main account. Oh, okay. I'm trying to say there's a lot of fake followers on his account. 40% real. It's always hard to tell with that. The comical part is all of this is he continues to rant and rave on Twitter to an account that has more than 50% bots. When pointed out to him, he won't even update his Twitter audit since he doesn't want to be known as most of the humans have departed from his Twitter, and he has even furthered into bot fake accounts than he was previously. Screaming into the void and talking less than 1,500 people really isn't damaging Intrepid. Depends. Are they also social media terrorists? I use that term very loosely. I was agreeing with you. And I have myself muted. So this is the government definition. Had myself muted there for a second. Judge for yourself if this really qualifies. During this reading, I definitely had some quarrels about putting that label on such a spur. But you know what? There are idiots who really get into terrorism in real life, but using it for a video game, I think it's just a bit of stream. Streamists, okay. You probably 400 to 500 are real, and only like 20 of them I would say are active. So you Twitter rant to 20 people. I do it by myself too. 4 months I've been poking at them, thinking if I was big enough pain in the ass, they'll just open a dialogue and we could resolve things, get back to how it used to be. His plan was never likely to succeed, but it was the only chance I had left. Here's the admission of guilt that he's going out of his way to continue to poke at them. He has a motive. He wants to be unbanned. Somehow in his own mind, this justifies all his toxic behavior. Possible criminal activity. Stalking. California Penal Code 646.5 PS. Stalking. California Penal Code, some numbers, and a PC. PC for politically correct, maybe. Any person who willingly, maliciously, and repeatedly follows or willingly and maliciously harasses another person and who makes a credible threat with the intent to place that person in reasonable fear for his or her safety or the safety of his and her immediate family is guilty of stalking. And why did I put a possibility there? I haven't seen any evidence that this could possibly apply to Gigabear, as annoying and insistent as he has become. But I guess the creator of this is gonna try to make the case for this. What must the prosecution prove for stalking charges? In order to prove that you're guilty of stalking under blah blah blah, the government holds the burden to prove each of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Again, reiterates the malice, blah blah blah. You made a credible threat with the intent, blah blah blah. Your conduct is not constitutionally protected. I guess that's the new kicker to that. As is demonstrated here, Gigabear admits on a public forum to violating California PC stalking, regardless if he knew the contents of the document, regardless if the document was easily attained, publicly documented or not. He admits that he did, in fact, tweet out the home address of CEO Intrepid Studios. Let me be clear, the doc was business filing, was public record. Yes, if true, he definitely doxed him, okay? People need to learn. I'm going to have to put up that definition also. It seems like some people don't know what doxing is. So many definitions are going to go up, okay? Damn. Going to come up. I'm not going to bother reading out. Just going to throw it in chat and put it on the screen. Record. What I didn't know is that they registered the studio at their house instead of their actual address. The moment I was made aware, I deleted it at once. By admit it, you mean apologize profusely. Deleting a tweet does not make it so you didn't do it. This is when retracting a statement is relevant. Also, apologizing profusely does not make it so you didn't do it. It just means you admitted to doing it multiple times. This is, I believe, key word here, why my game account was terminated. Though Intrepid refused to clarify the reason, so I'm guessing, probably because their community manager. So no wonder Gigabear's all on board with Grum's current campaign against community managers. Said people wouldn't get punished in games for social media. Speculation, okay? We know no connection. Well, we know a connection between Grums and Gigabear. You just don't see them really interacting too much. Grums is willing to use Gigabear's trolling and tricking of Nick of Second Wind to sort of discredit him, but you can't say that Grums set him on that. Most likely, Gigabear set that task to himself to get back in Grums's good graces. But all this is speculation. Why did you have to bring that up past me? It's not relevant at this point. I advised everyone to keep their social and game accounts separate so this will never become an issue for them or me ever again. At least I can get behind that. Ironically, he can't even claim not to know better since he's very publicly tweeted out the definition of doxing when defending himself against another doxing claim against a fellow community member before he was banned. It seems strange for a guy doing no doxing to get accused of doxing so much. Well, he does admit that it was foolish, and he shows some. Isn't it very convenient to sort of use the term doxing however you want to? Same with all these other terms like stalking and terrorism. Don't worry, I'm going to be blazing doxing the definition very soon. Remorse. He stands by the fact it was in response to someone escalating the issue. Plus, here we go with him admitting he doxed John. I see Gigabear is using the idiot defense, and maybe he shouldn't have continuously escalated the issue until such errors were even possible. Middle screenshot, after you fucking doxed his husband. Sounds sort of victim blamey to me. Not that I care too much for that. I guess Gigabear sees himself as a victim since he believes he's unfairly being banned from the Discord. Gigabear actually took it to the stream doing a full background check on Steve. He had no problem sharing personal information about the CEO and the creative director of the studio with a content creator. Ironically, Gigabear once again indicates he's aware of the law that prevents him from disclosing it, yet he discloses it to at least one person. More than a year later, Gigabear disclosed personal information about another intrepid employee via Twitter. Pretty clear he knew what he was doing. I'll be blunt, and only because it's completely legal for me to have done what I did. I ran a full background check on the guy after he banned me the first time since it seemed highly questionable. So I know everything, but there are laws which prevent me from disclosing it. Yeah, pretty bad. But in the end, if he just shared it with a content creator, which would technically put him, at least legally, in the clear. I'll send you the PDF. By accepting it, you are agreeing to hold me harmless for anything that may come of your use of said information, but I am a messenger. I'll hold you harmless. Okay, I guess he meant to say blameless. Blameless. Yep, blameless and interesting strategy here. Got called out the first time. Second time, he passed it on to someone who he might have suspect would release it publicly or not. Does that make him not accountable for it? I don't know. It's up to you. Depend on your set of ethics, okay? Seems like a Weasley way to get out someone's docs, in my opinion, but that's just me. Not Fable, etc., etc. Yeah, I couldn't hold you liable anyways. Information isn't about me. There is also something wrong with the individual who thinks he's getting a visit from the FBI in the aftermath of the Capitol riot and is something to laugh at. The FBI doesn't send agents in person to follow up on stuff unless it's at least credible. Something about this person's online presence is enough to justify a visit from federal law enforcement. This gets just funnier and funnier, but not for necessarily the right way. However, he's probably just lying to make himself seem more self-important. He didn't mention this FBI visit in his Twitter in the date range of 13 February. So yeah, probably just a lie, a virtue signal around that event. Wait, on 14 March, he posted about the FBI on his Twitter. The FBI is understandably on edge regarding the violence in the Capitol. I say this because they just visited me. Some people from an online game who had beef with me, who are also super liberals, got my personal information and tried to take advantage of by filing a false complaint about my Twitter. Joke was on them because my Twitter was suspended December 5th. I am curious how some super liberals got his personal information. He was sort of criticizing the person who he investigated or released the docs earlier with being careful, but maybe he just learned from experience. Here it is. Actually, you doxed me after threatening me to further escalate. A week later, the FBI shows up at my house on a bogus complaint about my Twitter. You excessively follow and frequently. No, you doxed me. No, I doxed you. Blah, blah, blah. He said, she said. There's a lot of that going around, and those with the greater number tend to get sort of the narrative they want set in stone. It's a continuous fight for the narrative, okay? And Gigabear probably lost. Who knows the truth? What is the truth? Does the truth even matter? I think so, but I must be special. Remark on my political leanings. This is after slandering me as doxing you. Pathetic. So I will say this document is biased. I do not know who he's accusing of. I do not know who he's accusing this of. So in this case, I could say this document is clearly missing some context that could at least make some of his actions and motives for all this crazy shenanigans stuff at least seem reasonable to a certain degree. Too true, past me. Too blackmail true. Or coercion. This person's just asking questions. Asking questions is not harassment, right? I hate that logic. I love that logic. I've been using that line. Past me is such a dumbass, okay? Most people probably think current me is a dumbass, though. Whoever under a threat of informing or as consideration for not informing against any violation under the law of the United States demands or receives any money or valuable things shall be fined under this title or imprisonment not more than 1 year or both. So is blackmail or coercion to tag PC Gamer Magazine about a scandal involving a moderator on the official Ash of Creations Discord. The irony, Gigabear was the owner of the unofficial Discord that lasted approximately 5 days, where the post in question is from. Oh, what would you think someone like PC Gamer would think when I farmed the story out to them? Official Discord mod, still a Discord mod after posting a when you go full gas meme ongoing harassment campaign, and extreme bullying. Clearly premeditated behavior in an ongoing attempt to make Steve and Intrepid Studios look bad if he doesn't get his way. Yeah, this is a freaking mess. Here it is. Ironically, why you say it is victim blaming. Someone else randomly calls you out for playing the victim card. Every coin has two sides. Totally and utterly agree. Yet it seems like yours is always landing face down. His suggestion seems to be that I shut up. Dear God, man, if I could do that, wouldn't be in this position to begin with. Do you even know who you're talking to? Finally, got around to reading Jay's Reddit post. So much victim blaming, I couldn't even get through a third of it. Called it. Aside commentary, this is why I hate victimhood status. If you want to identify as a victim, you're willing to do some really heinous stuff to balance the scales. It's just a cycle, or in most cases, a spiral that just goes way out of control. BBB complaints, lawsuits, and other shenanigans. So the purpose of engaging with a company is to try to get your money back when you feel you've been wrong. BBB complaints, lawsuits, and other shenanigans. So the purpose of engaging with a company is to try to get your money back when you feel you've been wronged. As we can see, this is the position Gigabear starts from. Although in the past he says he doesn't care if he gets the refund. I opted to begin to pursue my options to compel Intrepid to refund me, paying over $1,000 for a product that BB complaints, lawsuits, and other shenanigans. So the purpose of engaging with a company is to try to get your money back when you feel you've been wronged. As we can see here, the position Gigabear starts from. I've never opted to begin to pursue my options to compel Intrepid to refund me. Paying over $1,000 for a product and never receiving said product is unacceptable under any circumstances. No legitimate business should ever take money without delivering what was paid for. Although in the past he has said he doesn't care if he gets the refund. More concerning, however, is he states here. Retake. As we can see, this is the position Gigabear starts from. Although in the past he has said he doesn't care if he gets refunded. You'd think I'll stop because they refund me. More concerning, however, is that he states here he won't stop if he get refunded. Clearly, he is admitting to agenda more than just a refund. Clearly has a intent to hurt Intrepid and or Steve. Finally, we find the truth behind everything. Gigabear feels as if he has a moral obligation to assure as few people as possible back this project. Now the rest of the pieces will fall into place. It means that I am now morally obligated to ensure as few people as possible back this project. Pay to influence is corruption. It is as bad as pay to win. Everything I hoped for in this process has failed. 8 months on, and I still have no idea what's actually going on. Nobody wanted this project to succeed more than I did. For the industry, for the genre, for Sparta. Sorry, it was so critical, but you can't change the genre by selling influence like this. It's just a different sort of P2W signature. A backer Steve did not consider among his most supportive because he wasn't able to back the game for any more than he already has. God. This is, I swear, getting such extreme rhetoric over video games seems a little insane. Yeah, you put money in, but does money entitle you? How much money? And how much of an opinion on the game does it really give you? God, I just hate the entitlement of some people. Okay. I mean, you deserve a certain amount of, transparency with the creator, but a certain amount of say, just yeah. They want a game, they want support. If you're going to be a nuisance like this, if this is all true, disclaimer, then yeah, fuck up. Man up. If you're a childish motherfucker, you're going to get kicked. As long as you get the product, that should be acceptable. I don't even know the development on this. Looked into this Ash of Creation. Seems to still be going. Seem to have its bumps, but I don't know exactly how it is. Maybe it's a scam. Maybe it's not. Okay. So hard to say with this sort of thing. Again, this highlights why I hate people who make moral arguments. Just such intangibility. There's no real framework for it. This is why I like ethics. You can break down where the ethics are coming from. Morality, morality is all over the fucking place. I swear to God, I cannot identify where people get their morals from, but ethics are a much cleaner, simpler way to hash out. My personal opinion.
Yeah, people who fight a moral cause tend to let that justify them doing immoral acts in return. Gigabear. Step 1 was Better Business Bureau complained, which they ignored, and I now have an F rating with the agency as a result doing so. Step 2 was filling out a scam alert for said agency as taking money, not refunding or delivering the product fits the description of that. So step 1, going to the Better Business Bureau, was somewhat of an antiquated step, but a valid one nevertheless. Most millennials and neo-millennials do not even know what a BBB rating is. Most businesses
I don't know what's
particularly
with
care
some of
about
this
their rating,
commentary
given
from
that
the
the BBB is
PDF.
not a
Okay,
regulatory body. It's just old
I really don't know what this commentary on this. This is when I really started to doubt the actual thing.
organization that's been around forever. Yeah, this whole slideshow is rather opinionated. So Intrepid now has a F as their rating. If they cared, they could buy it up to a A plus, like some other title has done. Update Intrepid ratings actually C with BBB, and they have granted 2 whole complaints. Guess his was one, and they got a different one. Step 2 was fill in a scam alert with said agency, and sure, if you feel strongly enough about it, it is something you should pursue. However, it would be fairly fraudulent to file a scam alert with BBB and then knowingly continue to give money to the company participating in a scam. I'll agree with that, at least at a baseline ethical level. I don't know about the morality of it. Some people don't make the distinction, but I do. You can identify ethics. Morals can really be anything. However, so Gigabear is working to pursue his options to compel Intrepid to refund him, while at the same time continuing to give Intrepid more money. I've opted into beginning to pursue my options to compel Intrepid to refund me, paying over $1,000 for a product and never receiving said product, blah, blah, blah. How can he, in good faith, claim it's a scam if he continues to put money into the company? I don't like this framing here. Okay, I'm understanding his logic. This last part. I give Blizzard money all the time. I do this because I love the game, despite disliking their company. So it's not the company that he's trying to funnel this money to, it's to the product he wants. Gigabear here claims that a class action lawsuit is not entirely in jest. He also tweets that Steve has defrauded the community and that there is a California lawsuit to be had. These are fairly bold words, and more just bold words. They seem to be a course of action. Let's step out of that for a bit. Let's go into the not entirely in jest. We don't get an alpha soon, or at least see some reasonable proof the project is viable. Taking steps to recoup our losses would seem to be the correct course of action. I may not even be a member of the class, though, depending on if it's decided Kickstarter are the ones strong enough case to win due to blah, blah, blah. I'm not a lawyer, so none of this actually matters. A lot about MMORPG constituting fraud. He's not a lawyer, remember. Here is the important bit, in my opinion. If ashes go down, there's a bun to be found in there. It will do grave damage to the prospects of future MMORPG Cal. If ashes go down, missed opportunity to use the pun. If ashes burn down, how do you burn ashes? Besides the point, it will do grave damage to the prospect of future MMORPG crowdfunding endeavors. And the only way I can see to minimize the harm is for there to be consequences demonstrated when you actively deceive the community for profit. So clearly he feels deceived by the community for profit. But frankly,
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. He's definitely has a certain level of entitlement, a certain level of indignant thing. Maybe he deserves a little bit of it. As far as this document puts out, he sounds unjustifiably being overly butthurt about this because he's not getting his say. He's not getting so many things that he probably doesn't even deserve. I don't see how any of his actions have been in the pursuit of proving that, but that context could have been left out of this particular PDF. Another error in his logic. Again, I would have loved Gigabear to come on, but you know what? This is just all lies. When I asked him about it, all lies. All these screenshots, I guess. Such bullshit, okay? Bullshit on both sides. That's why I have the stance I have. That I'm seeing is that although he's admitting he has no expertise on any of these fields, which has been one of the points that I could have agreed with in this particular PDF. Again, let's clarify, there could have been things not mentioned in here to sort of create a narrative around this. Again, I don't know where he gets his claim of expertise that any of his advice would be helpful and not just detrimental, as it seems it is within this community. Because it's clear his motivation is the protection of this particular genre's Kickstarter campaigns not being seen as illegitimate. These Kickstarter campaigns as something worth investing time and money into. But he's actively doing many things to sort of alienate himself from the general community. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm saying I tend to do my level best to ensure that if we don't get the game we paid for, the parties responsible are held accountable. In that case, wouldn't it be best, with your limited knowledge, to be supportive of management to make the game succeed, instead of trying to undermine their authority on multiple places? Or maybe do some research into the community before joining it and sort of invest in monies on. But it might be presumptuous to say that, yeah, okay, too many people, I swear, don't do their research going in beforehand. See how things really work, okay? Should it be on the freaking backers people put money in when it's clearly earmarked all these stipulations? You just want to ignore them because you don't like them and you gave it money? Fucking hell. Such big shit that he didn't, and that maybe he was deceived. If he wants to make that particular argument, I would like to see documentation from him. I was sold a pre-order they refused to refund, so they best deliver. Let's get this shit finished up. So Gigabear's alternative personality, who has less integrity than the human does, starts shouting pyramid scheme and lacks the backbone to keep the post up. Instead, a clear pattern of making an accusation, then deleting the tweet isn't the setup of Intrepid. Referral system is affiliated system, not a pyramid system. Regardless if the tweet's been deleted and the rhetoric used was not appropriate, I should have not said it at all. When I used the term pyramid scheme, this should have been at no point been taken as a reference to a criminal enterprise, which again, should have been obvious. I mean, okay, first time because of the pyramid tweets, this time because just a lot of drama happened. I don't see any grievance offense I committed. It was just too loud apparently. Horrible image, by the way. Gigabear was also interviewed by a community member named Reckless. During that interview, Gigabear makes a statement that sounds pretty close to amidst his attention to historic Intrepid studio. Hey, I have this document. Oh, dang, Gigabear. Yeah, maybe we just need to shut this guy up. Okay, here's your, you know what, because we're going to just do it with the contact him like, yo. Yeah, I need to just chill and fine, you know what, shut up for like 3 months and roll on back. Sounds pretty incomprehensible. I got the clip. I can add it on. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure harassment involves more than... Yeah, I cut out some of that stuff. Okay. I have files to it, but I think it's rather irrelevant overall. And there's a lot of artistic digging involved in it, so I don't think I'm going to include it. So have fun with the rest of this. Complaining about a game. Gigabear fancies himself as a lawyer. However, when he goes off on posts like this, he fails to realize the community is not going to get a case in front of a judge based on Kickstarter's terms. Intrepid literally can fail their development, send out an email, sorry guys, we failed. Plus, we're broke and have no money left. Literally. I'm guessing this supposed to be, this could dissolve the company, and then what do you do? Sue? Even if you stop them from dissolving the company, as in Van Fleet, that's all the Trana's world, guessing that's a case law thing, and you successfully sue them, what do you get? The money would have been gone if the project fails. Obviously, Steven's goal is to release Ash of Creations, the MMORPG. If they fail, they fail. There will be no money left to collect. I guess this is working like investors. You can still say that they scammed the people, okay? If you can find they embezzled it or wasted it on other things, I guess. But that would be sort of hard to prove. I guess you could. Sort of start illegal proceedings to, what is that term? Transparency, where you get to look through all the legal documentations. But that's a lot of money to possibly find nothing illegal was going on. It's discovery. It's the discovery process. Previous me. Get your facts correct, okay? Why was I so dumb? Was my brain melting? This is why I took in sections. Why I'm not doing this on stream? Who knows? Embezzling and crap like that. So, the small claims handbook for the jurisdiction that Gigabear resides in is only 28 pages in length. He must really be making the wholehearted attempt to sue Intrepid Studios if he believes Intrepid Studios can't send a lawyer to represent the corporation. This is the link. Where it goes. Take that with a grain of salt. Let's keep a few things in perspective here. It is highly unlikely that any court other than the court of San Diego County would take care of this case, as CD is where Intrepid is located. If they did, however, Steven would most certainly send a lawyer, and then Gigabear would be facing a countersuit to cover the travel expenses of the lawyer and most certainly his fees. Probably not even a realistic scenario, given that a 28-page step-by-step instruction manual for filing in small claims court was too much for Gigabear to comprehend. Not to put too fine a point on Gigabear's apparent inability to read and comprehend, but on his current rant, he is saying that Streamline Media has a hell of a case from my reading of it. But the court will decide. Oh, okay. If all this is true, it's beautiful, beautiful locale territory. But I don't know if Gigabear's insanity plead really holds up. So, as I said, you got the statement. He's claiming he's insane, but you can be insane and even have certain mental deficiencies and still be a locale. Those two things can exist, and you can also be a troll. I guess when I asked him, I should have made it so he could have picked a couple of different columns. But you know what? Fair is fair. I asked, try to get him on. We'll continue under the context that at least, even as imperfect as the PDF is, we can still laugh at it. Okay, fair enough. Go on. I'll try not to laugh too hard. Don't forget what we just covered. Gigabear, in all his legal prowess, could not navigate a 28-page small claims court manual to realize when sued in court, you can send legal representation. Yeah, if this is correct. Steven will send a lawyer. He can't. That's the entire point of small claims court. And why you include mandatory arbitration provisions. I would have to worry about a guy who spends as much time, effort, and energy, and most of all, limited financial resources. This is the funniest court documents so he can rant and rave about them. Someone put the panda back in the box. Ask, is that like a weird Pandora's box reference there? If a corporation or partnership is a party to a small claims court, the person who comes to a hearing must be an official of the corporation, a person regularly employed by managerial capacity by corporation or partnership, or a lawyer. However, I also informed them that failing either of those two remedies, I would be forced to take legal action against their company. This is no idle threat. I fully intend to pursue it if left with no alternative. I believe I have ample grounds for a case in small claims. I've just informed them in writing if they don't fix this, I'm going to sue. I don't even care if I win, honestly. Yesterday, that's what's so infuriating. I'm being painted as this toxic asshat, but I got way more than I ever gave from many sides, which would have been fine if that's how they would have wanted to moderate. But when I was held to a different and stricter standard by far, that is where it went wrong. With that being said, the community bans were one thing. I never paid to. Okay, why? You not being, was he being honest with why he was being held to a stricter and higher standard? Okay. That's freaking hell. Different rules. Read the rules before you go into the room. Read the room. Fucking hell. Jeez. To be there, but the game itself, I did pay quite a bit. I can't just let them make up a false claim and ban my account before I even get what I paid for. I may lose, but I'm going to fight them on it. This is no idle threat. I fully intend to purchase it if left with no alternative. I just informed them in. I have to say, you can't just claim something's false. Just, it's lies. It's a lie. It's false. What is false? Okay, prove it. You can't just keep on doing this and have people believe you. It will only hold up for so long. A lie can only hold up for so long. People will point out these contradictory positions, and when you don't follow through with them, you always have to follow through if you make a sort of claim here, or else your credibility is going to take a hit. That's the world. That's the way adult world works, guys, okay? Some people just can't get with it, or they don't have the mental fortitude or strength or will. Only if they get popular enough do they think they can get away with bullshit. It's just completely and utterly funny. Well, I'm going to actually get into the bullshit later, because that is a beautiful sort of case study for this. I'm not going to touch on it too much, but, it definitely has some corollary. Saying it has any sort of overlap would be a disservice to anyone I would compare Keffels to, but a certain feel, a certain reeking of lies can be sort of established with this sort of thing here. Write in if they don't fix, I'm going to sue. To date, Gigabear lacks the courage, means, or knowledge to actually file a lawsuit against Intrepid Studios. Seems has to be an idle threat after all. Good question. I would want to ask Gigabear, did he ever go through with this? Entitlement. Like any other Discord, a board game in development, yes, there were channels not everyone had access to. There was a Phoenix Initiative channel. There were several content creator channels. Before consultation, there were a couple different channels and headed, which has been streamlined by the community marketing leader. There were the Alpha Zero channels, half a different memory serves, blah, blah, blah. To chat channels under NDA, so Alpha Zero members had a channel they could speak in. Secret channels, secret meetings, secret tested, secret direct messages, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Now, the real meat of Gigabear Dilemma is seen. He's always rejected. He didn't even get access to Alpha Zero channels that he had never supposed to be in. He was denied moderator because he has already been demonstrated he's self-admitted to not having the skills necessary to be a moderator. You can clearly see the entitlement when he goes after Jay for having AO access, which he got from 2017 Halloween event, and being a content creator, which rarely affords any early access to anything. You can see in a conversation that Gigabear jealousy, his envy of people having access behind the scenes and getting more than I have ever gotten, is what drives his insanity. You got AO, you're a content creator. Check your privilege before criticizing us who are graced with none. His white privilege, Gigabear, I guess? Gamer privilege? Ban evading. Gigabear has brought over 50 identical alts into the official Ash of Creation Discord. Each time, shortly after he arrives, he gets found out, and then he removes them as some sort of act of goodwill and charity. The delusion that he was a highly regarded community member had the BR never happened is one of the things that he clearly clings to. And yet, after both of his bans, the community was relieved to not have to deal with him anymore. To date, there has been no public outcry for his return. I've been out and removed my alts from the Discord. People can see he's complaining about. Okay, I'm gonna have to wonder if he's gonna think he's gonna make his little push currently and GG2 is sort of a proxy to get back into other things. Who knows? He'll be curious to see. Curious. Follow Gigabear if you want to know the side adventures of how he sort of capitalizes on the clout he got. Very minimal call out he got. Okay. I'll be looking forward to it. Covering it, I don't know. Unless something decent comes up, I doubt I'll mention much about him after this stream. About it, that is all. Although there is Intrepid guidelines against it, there will be, and I actually do respect those. The real me was the one Steven was proposed given the world's biggest teddy bear golem. This is part that's against my nature, blah, 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 blah. One day I can reveal my name where the game is not winding down and sadly will not be long after the launch party. I wanted to make a meme with the la 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 la. Nobody has ever really gone. Just replace Pupping with me and the AOC community laughing in the background because I never really left. Oh, God. Gigabear is actually proud of the fact that he banned Evade on Discord like it's some difficult challenge. My problem is I allow myself to be trolled and harassed into doing stupid things. Then those uttered in anger are used to increase the bullying. There's no defense against this if the community standards aren't enforced. Unban won't fix the root cause of my problem. Here from 21 July 20. See, again, so many things, so much evidence could be presented to counter this. Like, if he wants this claim to go through, he would have to just provide the sort of how he was trolled or harassed into doing this, okay? Yeah, you can sort of be provoked or baited into this. There's some instances that I really think, like Bellamy Gaming, I think is how it's pronounced, the WoW guy. I think he got baited into making a really poor response to all the shit when he talked about Kotaku, forcing him to talk about Sweet Baby Inc. in a rather bad way. Okay? Totally uninformed the culture war and not realizing 2020, he doesn't even care that he's going to be ban evaded for more than 50 times. It's all about what Gigabear wants when he wants it. Rules must not be applied to him. But then he gets upset when he gets banned. Ban evaded and Steve responses. We should work on recollection and get back to a healthy dynamic. The current situation isn't beneficial to anyone. There's no need, friend. Suggest moving on. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he told me to come back when it's launched. Fucker, ban my account. As you can see, Steve continues to be able to interact with a banned Gigabear very respectfully. In this exchange, Gigabear comes on to the Discord, even though he's banned, and tries to make it out there's some sort of situation that isn't beneficial. Steve very politely deals with the situation, giving them a few minutes to talk, which Gigabear isn't even entitled to those minutes, and then Gigabear is banned. This time, the moderators kept Gigabear's comment on the Discord, so there's no confusion about what happened. Finally, we can see the true nature of Gigabear, just a poor, upset soul who had to deal with all the problems he caused for himself. Unofficial Discord. Gigabear created an unofficial Ash of Creation Discord on about 19th of November 2018. He deleted it on 24 November 2018 because he could not handle it. Nuked my Discord server today. Reason is simple. The negativity being generated was off the charts. It could have never been turned into a positive, and leaving in place would have harmed, not helped the community. Didn't attack the mod team, attacked the process, which proved correct after processing produced a moderator who posted an anti-Semitic meme to no visible punishment. Oh, you think someone like PC Gamer would think that when I farmed the story out to them? The official Discord mod is still a mod after posting when you go full gas meme, online harassment campaigns, and extreme bullying. Intrepid would have been more credible for banning me if one of their mods haven't posted a swastika, admitted publicly, and never took an action at all. Engaging in cancel culture. Okay, this all is going to be relevant. Also, why I wanted to cover this, okay, in autistic detail, as unpopular as it might be, okay? You can see signs of this, what we're currently going through Gigabear's actions. I'm not going to say he's sort of proposing certain tactics to people. I'm sure a lot of people are coming to the same conclusions as Gigabear in the past. So this sort of tactic that, yeah, I definitely seen some nowadays. A couple years later has become popular, and this is not something I approve of. Okay, maybe I'll give some commentary. That's why I slowed it all down. After I see Gigabear, off-platform stuff was used against me. So fair is fair, right? Such corrupt companies support racists over furries. Yep, cancel culture, bitch. What Gigabear is not sharing in the story about the moderator who posted that anti-Semitic meme is that, one, the moderator posted on Gigabear's Discord, not the official Discord. Yes, lies by omission. It's really easy to get along with it, okay? All the context, is it a joke? When you sort of take the joke element out of it, the troll element out of it, it loses all meaning, okay? Not that, even if it is a troll, that you should be accepting and condone it. There should be punishment for that if you really have those particular standards. Okay, just making that real clear here. 2, worst things were posted on his Discord. Now it is in now way excusable for any human being to post the image that was posted. That's totally unacceptable. Lame. Side note. Okay. Stop being such bitches. Okay. Okay. If it's a meme, it's a meme. Totally unacceptable. Okay. Get over it. Okay. I wouldn't do it. Yeah. Context matters. I try to avoid this as I'm going to say this, but I think people, let jokes be funny. Jokes are jokes. Don't try to take it any further than that. Don't be a little bitch. But I'm an old school gamer. Those 13-year-olds yelling racial slurs in Call of Duty library on Xbox Live, annoying as all shit. Mute the bitch, okay? Are they really racist or are they just being edgy? Who the fuck knows, okay? The lines are just something I can't abide by nowadays, okay? Personally, but saying totally unacceptable to do an anti-Semitic meme is just so fucking lame. Sidebar over. What is ironic is Gigabear complains about him being... Okay, and also, last stream, I'm pretty sure it came up. There's legitimate anti-Semitic sentiment towards the Palestine versus Israel stuff now. That shit ain't a joke, and they're just letting that shit pass. Yeah, sorry, meta commentary. It just annoys me. Being banned due to the statements from social media, while at the same time complaining the moderator was not removed based on the statements from social media. Again, there can be only one standard, a concept that Gigabear struggles with. I was There can only be one. Again, would have put in a Highlander meme here, but I was trying to keep this on point, and I failed in some points, and failed in even more here because I need to put something in here because that was such an obvious joke to make, and I failed, or I cut it out. Damn me. That I might sort of agree with. I did not see this coming. Quartering. Might be interesting to see that. Some of this may not even be legal, but regardless, this company needs to be put out of its misery. Fortunately, they seem hell-bent on bringing that about. So, the same exact behavior he calls out for moderation and what he calls for that moderation removal are the same behaviors he exhibits. So, Gigabear has a pass on using Nazi, but blah, blah, blah. If another person does something similar, it's so far beyond acceptable that the person should be removed as moderator. Oh, fucking hell. This is lame. Lame as shit. I have to nuke whoever created this PDA in a lot of ways. It's a little bit sus, but the evidence is still relevant. Plus, what do we have here? Would this be an artifact from Ash of Creation unofficial Discord that had anti-Semitic imagery on it? Keep in mind, this is the Discord that Gigabear personally set up and ran. So it's pretty clear his moderating skills need a little refinement. Proof positive why he should not have been selected for Ash of Creation Discord. I have no clue. Random shit talking. Fail me in editing there. As you can see, Gigabear considers Blizzard and Cryptic Studios to be shit developers. Strange he continues to play World of Warcraft. His comment was posted on 27th of August, 2019 at Massive slowing down, Overpowered, where he states he could throw together a 50 versus 50 arena map in a reasonable amount of time, days more than months. To date, we're still waiting for Gigabear Studios TM 50 versus 50 arena mode map to be completed. I do like this a little bit. In the shit talking section, he shit talks him a bit. Gotta respect that. I guess it all comes down to whether or not G passes our differences and works this out. Not even going to be hard to accomplish that. I'm not really a bad guy if you're straight with me. Yet I dare not send an unsolicited message to someone who's clearly avoiding me. That may be seen as harassment, difficult to fix. Could have had any number of things I did. Come on, the confidential that she orchestrated my band. Of course, I was angry, not now, blah, blah, blah. Hezbollah has blocked me on Discord. The only members of his mod team so far who are not professional or outright friendly with me at this time. I don't know how to address whatever this is. I did with being able to communicate. He does calling a member of the moderation team not either professional or outright friendly count as shit talk. Oh, fuck off. Question mark. J days have been numbered since 17 August 2019, apparently. If there's some, I always forget how to say this, Machiavellian plot to remove Jay from either content creation program or the community altogether. A little disappointing. Altogether. Machiavellian. If there's some Machiavellian plot to remove Jay from either content creation program or the community altogether, they better step it up in a bit. Guy's going to die from old age before Gigabear level conspiracy is going to get any traction. To date, Steve is so unhappy with Jay that Jay was given another interview on 8 January 2020. Available for a view here. In closing, this is how this individual sees himself as some powerful force in the MMORPG community. In fact, he has pretended to be glorious MIM overlord on Reddit just to justify his you can tell I'm getting picture, tired however, just in this recording. Irony. Yeah, not going to read all this shit out. Take it in, drink it all in. Gonna cut this down, but my voice here will give you time to pause if need be. Gigabear, twice banned member of Ash of Creation community, first known person to have their game account 2. I didn't pause, but if you want to post talk, feel free. Accounts first person known to have their gaming account 2 accounts permaban for doxing intrepid staff and being overall, I guess, insufferable, toxic, disruptive member of the community. Oh, hold on. He only one was a direct dox. The other was, here's the information. Remember, if you spread this information, it's not me who doxed anyone. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. By completely unrelated to Ash of Creation, it does provide an insight into the individual at hand. If you're going to quote the Bible, please you get the verb correct, or you just looked ignorant. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, a hot spirit before the fall. Conclusion and done. In conclusion, why free speech should be a right all humans enjoy. We often forget not many people around the globe do enjoy this basic human right. All humans should have freedom to express their opinion in public. However, Intrepid Studio in their Discord, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and other social media are not the public. You do not have the right to freedom of speech on their platform. When you become a known bad actor, you should not expect nor should you be given access to the platform. Now, maybe we can maybe finally put the headstone on the plot where Steve buried Gigabear, and we can get into some more important Ashes of Creation discussion. Or just rewatch the clip of Dan dunking on Gigabear one more time, which sadly we can't do because D Phantom deleted it. I'm done with this. Gonna try to edit it down for later sequence. Okay, yep. Done. Duh. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, the Gigabear witch. Who knows? He's not coming in, and we get into the wrap up. Because there's still more stuff to go over. Not stuff relating to Gigabear directly. But there are plenty of fun stuff that I've come across within here. Let's first start with the Twitter, okay? Because, not Twitter, X. Because X marks the spot. Okay, so this is something from Grums that I will definitely co-sign on. Okay, not going to give him shit for everything, but getting this girl, this is definitely a worthy cause. The cause the right for the ban, and giving them shit for this sort of shit, I can approve of. Okay, not the whole thing, of course. Okay, I think he's a little bit off by her being banned. A little bullshit. Maybe look into this. Started looking into Bridge a little bit. Probably should go a little bit deeper. And she's the one who noticed the tipped off from it. And that might have some involvement with it. So I'll go ahead and give this a like, because I'm not going to hate on Grums when he does something good. But here we go. This one here. Definitely co-signing the sort of started here. Okay, post unavailable, limits account. Okay, weird. Why would this person sort of hide from this? Is he hiding from me? I don't get why this is hiding. Okay, no one's censoring. But yeah, this particular thing, another person. I had my own little thing, but I found another person retweeting this when it was still early on that I approve of. No one of any significance, no one I follow, but do they have pronouns in their name? No, but probably some pervy shit. Maybe shouldn't have liked. Who the fuck knows? Okay, into the story is good to know I'm not the only one to remember when people tried doing this with Zaki-chan and started a trend that I thought was rather lame at the time. Yeah, I thought it was unrealistic. So here we got it there. Oh, this person did that. Oh, Dark Forces took a hold of you, of course. Okay. This one isn't too bad, but I redrew that gross anime design and actually made her 20 years old. She was 20 years old. Okay. It's stylized anime shit. Okay. They are cute. Done in the divide of Disney. The anatomy on the OG hurts me so much, guys. Also gave her a froggy because her fit was boring. And why I agree generally with the fact that this was a bit lame here. Okay. This does look better to me. Okay. But I'm not going to approve of that general sentiment that art fiction should be done. And we have the Keffels thing. I use my quote tweet just as a reference for Keffels. Okay. Mudahar, great bait. Okay. Using this. It's her calling it transphobic. I am blocked. Darn. Just because I got blocked, I guess. Or maybe it's deleted or she went private. We'll see. Yeah, okay. Guess I got the ban. Oh, oof. So scary. Okay. But yeah. So I can't really see this. Understand people have criticism. I don't think that I'm above being critiqued. That being said, was it really necessary using transphobic caricature of me in the thumbnail and not using my pronouns in the video announcement? He did use your pronouns. Okay, her, she, blah, blah, blah. She keeps making lies, lies, lies. And how's that transphobic? Making you look ugly, okay? It's looks looksism, maybe, okay? Fucking mountain out of a molehill. And this sort of relates to my previous video out there. So let's dig into this real quick. So back to the actual video I made around this. The No Rest for the Wicked CEO, Thomas Maryland rebukes consultation Alex, who attempted to justify DEI hiring practice. He was fired. Oh, clickbaiting on that shit. So the person that was quoted in that particular thing. So I noticed the uptick in people posting some negative comments on my account aligned with this article being posted. I appreciate this be reworded as people aren't reading my post and making some huge assumptions based on the wording chosen here. I don't justify anything. True. She goes, I believe it's a she. If I'm misgendering, I don't care. But going through this, she definitely explains her understanding of DEI hiring process, which in the very beginning of the stream, there are different perspectives, especially since the Trump ban of it in the nation, which I actually approved of. Okay, getting rid of a lot of the garbage, which sort of has white people's lower, having to apologize to black people, and explicitly can definitely be taken as racist by many people, as a lot of the sort of anti-racism is, because frankly, I think it definitely is. Explain the terms and how they work functionally, as well as my own feelings on some of the elements. My account is for devs and people interested in the business side of art. I'm not affiliated with the people who comment on my post and would always prefer people reach out to me if they want to use my content. Yeah, but it's fair use, okay? I'm not gonna co-sign that particular thing. I just find it really weird. Okay, and that Park Place is their stance. I explain some terms and how they functionally, as well as my own feelings on some of the elements of it. This is justifying. How fucking I don't know who's in charge of this particular account. That's fucking retarded. Downright dumb and retarded. Justifying implies advocacy, which is not the case. She's pretty much saying she does not advocate for this. She's just went over. I'm not going to go over it, but I did a reading of it, and yeah, she could be incorrect even, but there's different concepts. As I brought up in the very beginning, there's the one woman Pat sort of was starting to like. Okay, I sort of lost him probably because it was past his bedtime, and I stopped focusing on the hot older chick. So that is fair enough. It's complex subject with many components. Yes, many different stances, many different beliefs, as should be obvious. Okay, but for someone, oh yeah, my own thing. Not going to get into that. You can see for yourself if you follow this particular account, which I would not recommend because this is what I use for this. Okay, had this just as a sort of link to him. Okay, here. Oh God, the thing should be crucified for. I bookmark Alyssa Singh thing here because even though I don't really care for her too much, her sort of woke sort of activism, she's not as bad as a lot of people like to make. Quick thing, Dachshund is not reaching out to someone's significant other and sending polite message. We don't know if it's a polite message. You're reframing this for your audience. I would like to see that message. Which JT, Smash JT or Smash Dachshund is posting someone's home address publicly. She should have added that. Thanks. Continuously, yeah. She's definitely continuously making content, which you degrade me, repeatedly DM me, unconfirmed, misgender my coworkers. I See no sign. Photoshop my face covering in blood. Only seen that a few times. Apply where they didn't have sex. Execute me in VR. That was just one unhinged loser. And why you went unhinged and went after JT Smash. She should really say she fucked up there, okay? But without the context, it's hard to say. Don't know what was said in that polite DM. Saying I have herpes, blah, blah, blah. Polite DM is not. We don't know if it's polite. Run away. Okay, you should engage with someone. Find someone who is a little bit credible and go in their stream instead of just go rah-rah team. That is a better way to sort of hash things out, girl, okay? But no one ever listens to me. Neither side is going to listen to me and take thing because I'm not rah-rah team here. And of course, you know, trying to get this one guy fired, I can't approve of the cancel culture here, okay? I can't approve of this. This is absolutely the play. We should be doing this with all these weird creeps, tracking down their significant others and mothers and stringing them up. I definitely get the reading that stringing them up is talking about the weird creeps there. Really poorly worded there, and definitely something that I don't approve. And he uses the cope of there's different definitions. Okay. I will understandably be like, okay, you talk about accountability. That's not a definition I find. I see the more what they're taking as the stream, but the other version is heavily punished. Not accountability, heavily punished. And you really trying to take accountability is a little bit of a cope. So both sides can be bad when they're both full of bullshit. That's my main point. And hypnotic. Do not signal boost this bullshit and trying to get this guy fired. I do not approve, okay? And here, come back to this guy, more recent thing. Oh, yeah. This is the guy who did a video on Mark Kerr. Not really good, okay? I bookmarked it, didn't improve. Okay, but, you know, the virtue signaling is strong, and people are just going to go run off of it. Okay, this is an interesting one. Get Alexandra, Alex, just for short. This is the same and oh yeah, I looked at this. This guy reported Mark Kern in a YouTube video. It's rather cringe. Not going to go over it. Much as I hate you and your scamming and harassment antics, accusing you of sexual abuse without proof, either publicly or otherwise, is quite a dangerous precedent. I can agree. So if you have nothing to hide, then you should prove that you're not involved in such. I don't think he needs to do that. Okay, that's where I differ. I can agree with this part with being like, no, he doesn't need to do that. It seems like total and utter bullshit. The burden of proof is on other people. In this video, oh God, so horrible. I cannot approve. As a practical lesson, Ed, I guess to him, see what I did here? You might want to make an effort to prove that you are not. But after a conversation, some people would remember you as, the guy who sucks balls. Sorry, the guy who sucks bull dick. Same happens with every false accusation and harassment person. Okay, English is not his first language, and surprisingly, it is for me. So don't take my little verbal tics a little bit too much. So is that all I wanted to go over on this particular tweet here to sort of end this off on? Who knows? Who cares? Oh, yeah. Back to this. It seems a little weird that they're trying to say he was here. I went over how much bullshit this is. Console early on for causing friction. But if Alex here is to be true, I worked on No Rest for the Wicked with Milton, not the CEO, just someone I guess worked with it for 5 or 6 years, and he did a great job. You should check it out. If Dark Souls, Zelda, Stardew Valley, I believe is the game, hybrids are your cup of tea. If he's to be believed, I guess he was working for 5 to 6 years. So that does not seem like early on. Well, I don't know how long it took, but again, total another reframing that I have a whole video on. I think it's even linked below. And as for that particular issue, it's neither here nor there. There's a few other things that I want to touch on real quickly that I thought sort of highlighted certain things. So let me present certain videos. I don't know how deep I'll get in. I want to just get this out here so I can leave most of this shit behind and focus on something else in the future, and maybe come back to this if there's really some dumb stuff that crops up worthy of covering, because sometimes you got to let things build up. I've just been seeing things in GG2 that I thought I should point out overall. So let's go into this particular thing. Back to the Gigabear thing here. Share it. But switch to other things here, because we have the JT Smash. Okay, we got the good man here. The funny thing is, I sort of popped up
since this engagement that I'm showing on the screen here.
Are you done yet? Or can
I actually, before all this shit came about, I actually briefly looked into JT Smash. Okay, I got distracted by something else. Please forgive me for that. But it came up here, which I found very interesting. And the tipster is a lolcow thing. Tales of the Tipster, Commentary's Biggest Lolcow, Part 1.
In early 2019, a YouTuber by the name of Suzy Lou was making videos where she blatantly disregards copyright and fair use by reacting to anime. Now, this on its own isn't really an issue because no one wants to snitch on piracy. I respect the hustle. It only becomes an issue when she abuses copyright on others. When small YouTuber Mark After Dark included a clip of her in his video making fun of her, no one would expect that Suzy would use this to completely shut him down. And when she did, it gathered the attention of the commentary community, especially Tipster. Big Tip would start making... As Tipster moved towards commentary, he drifted away from the retro gaming community, and
the point of that is he made a lot of fucking videos on Suzy Lou, to a point where I think she claimed harassment.
People he had talked to there, and he wouldn't leave particularly peacefully. One of his most vocal critics around this time was Smash JT, a relative...
Here we got Smash JT. Well, I looked into it, and quite an interesting man. And just for the record, someone like... I do not like to compare Smash JT to someone like the Trent Report, just because he didn't even cover the Alex stuff that I criticized the Trent Report for covering. Okay, he might have some issues. Everyone does, okay? And this sort of thing is quite interesting here. That the tip man hasn't jumped on Allison's balls, probably because she doesn't have the breast of the woman he's white knighted for this particular exploit, who does look quite nice.
The small YouTuber that had been friends with Tipster for quite a while. They struck a friendship in 2018 over their troubles with Screenwave, and when Smash JT made a video calling out a retro game console, Tipster would have Smash on his stream for an interview.
Holy my boy Smash JT threw down the mother gauntlet. He said, yo, looks like a scam and your PR department sucks. Here's your chance to communicate in a professional manner if you choose to. Holy that was awesome. I don't believe he targeted... I watched this guy's content. I'm a fan of Smash JT.
Smash returned the favor in early 2019 when Tipster's entire channel was claimed over the music he used for his intro, and he was one of the first people to speak out for him. But things changed in 2020 when Tipster started having someone on his stream by the name of Destiny FOMO, another member of the retro gaming community who had recently come in as a rising star. However, what contributed...
Yes, rising star. Quite rising. Quite a star, okay?
To a meteoric rise may have had more to do with her looks than a gaming analysis, especially considering...
No, not with her looks. Definitely her looks did not help her when she's on the thumbnail. It's not always in a low-cut dress on these thumbnails, just mostly, okay? Just mostly.
She also had an OnlyFans, and other retro gaming YouTubers were very critical of her because of that. One of them was a small creator by the name of Overthink Gaming, who made a video on her in late 2019 where he talks about those points. Destiny FOMO would respond by filing a false copyright strike. It was at this point when Tipster got involved as a neutral party, which was weird for some that the guy leading a crusade on Suzy Lou for false copyright strikes was taking such a middle-of-the-road stance here. But Destiny FOMO did have some legitimate concerns. She reasoned that she filed the copyright strike because people in the comments of that video were trying to gather her personal information. Tipster eventually negotiated a deal between the two where Overthink Gaming would remove all the personal information comments if she retracted the strike. So, situation solved, peace in the world, and Tipster's career never falls off. off? Well, until Destiny FOMO starts getting criticism on her comments because of Overthink Gaming's video. So she DMs him, blaming him for the hate comments and threatening legal action against him. This progression finally prompted Tipster to make a video calling out Destiny FOMO, and in fairness, Tipster's video is rightfully critical of her and what she's done. However, his video does still reel back in some places and has some praise for her because Tipster enjoys her content.
We're going to be talking about a YouTuber.
Okay,
Instead
you
of,
can
again,
watch this,
mediation or being a
Tipster.
neutral.
Always fun, especially if you like Toastify. I'm middle of the road on Toastify. Little milk toast of a YouTuber, but occasionally covers some good stuff like the French girl connection.
Party, Tipster flung himself into the crossfire for whatever reason. When Smash JT started making videos on Destiny FOMO saying she was the next Suti Lou, Tipster jumped to her defense whilst in the Discord. Dear God. Hey Tipster, look what Smash JT posted. At Travis, talking to Destiny FOMO right now. Okay, good. This is why I distanced myself from Smash JT. Dude legit took it from criticism to legit harassment. This is the Suzy Lou guy, by the way. The guy who was accused of being a harasser by Suzy Lou. She has a much better case against Tipster than Destiny FOMO would have against Smash JT. Now, in fairness, this isn't like an entirely forgotten story that people got wrong in the past, because Smash JT and his friends were unhinged. They constantly said dumb shit, they never really helped themselves, and Smash JT would go on to hop in DMs with literal doxers over drama with Tipster. This guy's nuts, and I don't blame anyone for being against him. It's
Okay, take this with a grain of salt. This guy, I think, falls a little bit on the progressive scale, although mostly non-neutral. So he's coming from that particular angle there.
just that at the core of this all, Tipster was wrong.
I don't know if my opinion, if he's unhinged or not, but at least he's covering certain things around Grums, even if I disagree with it and how much they're focusing on making Allison the big final boss of this. She's a rather lame final boss.
Wrong, and his entire involvement was getting pissy that people call him an unfaithful guy who sims for and defends Destiny FOMO.
He claims that I've got something going on with Destiny FOMO that my wife should probably be concerned about. And he says that I've done this before with other girls.
So I think that aspect is just worth keeping in the back of your mind as we move along.
Maybe there are some people who will give special treatment to female content creators in hopes that they're going to get their dick wet.
As long as they have the right looks, at least. I guess Allison isn't. I don't know why he hasn't jumped on that bandwagon. Maybe she's too out there for even him. I agree. She's done some really stupid stuff, really stuff. That's, I think, has been sort of ramped up and sort of blown out of proportion, but she's still done it. We just don't know fully about all that fun stuff.
I'm not
like the claim got into a whole sort of chain. I wasn't really arguing for it, but I asked for evidence that she doxed or did anything, and the guy who wanted to make that claim had a whole bunch of bullshit to say and reframing what dox means to label her as a doxer or wanted to dox people in the Discord. Why, it's sus. I don't think that was her intent, but that's the thing with nuance. It's easy to really misinterpret.
one of those creators. So you could just get that bullshit out of your head. First of all, I'm a happily married man. And that's just the stupidest thing that I've ever heard.
The fame from Tipster's
sorry.
coverage of Suzy Lou was the springboard to launch him and his career into widespread success. And with him
Okay, I'm gonna jump off this for a minute. Anything more before I end this catastrophic stream? Oh, maybe a little bit of this. Someone who actually covered this particular thing.
who thinks he's intelligent.
I think something relevant comes up
to
about
see in the
this.
last video is that in my stream, Trust Hill was called a liar. I discovered evidence to the contrary, and I wanted that corrected. And I still view that as a win.
3 years ago.
But let's address one thing really quickly. Smash JT is accusing Tipster of simping for Destiny FOMO. Now, I even had him on
Beautiful
stream
stuff.
to clarify what he meant by that. And he's
in the
also
moment
clarified
stuff.
it in his little
Down the rabbit hole with
chat
this
that he
shit.
had. Now, what you out there, the average commenter, an average YouTuber that comes across this video may be thinking is that Smash means Tipster is white knighting for Destiny. Maybe he's biased
he?
towards Destiny. Now, Smash does mean this in part. And
Biased
if that
towards
was the
those big-ass
extent of his
boobies.
criticism, Tipster already said this was a fair criticism of him, and if people wanted to make it, go for it. Furthermore, I would agree with that statement. Tipster is biased towards Destiny FOMO, full stop, right?
And
But the
big-ass
thing is,
boobies.
the
Mommy
reason I
boobies.
give Tipster leeway on this is because they're friends. It is really fucking hard to completely go ham in this, even if it's in the crosshair.
Okay, I'm just going to point this out. Since he's sort of getting criticism for going after Allison with a whole bunch of other people, sometimes for legitimate reasons, sometimes for, sneezing. Okay, it seems like, okay. Not a lot of people are going to get behind me. Even saw Nicholas Diorio get on that sort of dog pile. on face value, I definitely do agree that that is some serious shit there to really get into with that. Okay, so let's do. So we got some ordinary gamer. Okay, I'm gonna bring up the sort of tips or thing. It's sort of in the mute in the background. Let me give some context and why I'm bringing some ordinary gamer into this, because you gotta love the fact that people out there are fucking sort of jumping on Grums's dick for this. He's become the spearhead of his movement completely. My question is, Cabrutus, Grums, where the fuck did they come from? Okay. How did they take such a charge within like 2 or 3 months now of this particular thing? And where is it going? Okay. I have a lot of questions for that particular matter there. And there's a lot of things that I'm very skeptical of. Sorry. I'm very skeptical of someone coming out of nowhere and pulling on the campaign like those two people who came out of nowhere came from, able to have someone use the information like Gigabear did to sort of discredit a critic that sort of came, oh god, crash it on me. Wait, how's my internet going? Stream might be down, but I'm still gonna talk. Still, okay, let me present this as I can, and it doesn't go too bad because almost at the end here. Not that anyone will get to this little in tippy tip bit, okay? Want to get to Keffels for a bit. But yeah, why not someone like some ordinary gamer take the charge, okay? Someone who has been in this industry. Probably because he jumps on scams and all sorts of things. It just seems like a weird pick. Outsiders coming in, suddenly changing things. Seems to be the criticism of activists coming into the gaming space and changing games. So why are some people, not all, and some people are just going off of his sort of stirring the pot, his Grums's cancel culture campaign, and maybe he just reports on it. Maybe he has no coordination or any sort of influence on it. I sort of think that's faulty, and I don't like where I see he's going. I don't know all the information, so I could be incorrect on that. I'm just not seeing him not taking sort of people digging into his own sort of game, and his sly promotion of it got me a little bit skeptical of the man, okay? Because frankly, the things around this is really sus stuff. So, as for context for this particular sus stuff, let's take a look just a little bit about Keffels. And for anyone who doesn't know, quite interesting.
March 22nd, 2022, Clara had a spat with online notorious agitator Ian Miles Chong. Their back and forth continued for hours as she commanded her viewers to ratio him. Then at around 4:50 p.m. Eastern...
It's very funny, given Ian Miles Chung. Definitely a grifter. I've seen Grums retweet him, okay? He's definitely a bad actor within the space. He was vehemently anti-Gamergate. Then he switched sides. Now he's just pushing things. There's plenty of stuff out there about that particular man. Just highlighting that particular thing there.
Standard time, her chat was brigaded with hateful messages. Despite the timing, one of her mods would end up blaming someone else, another streamer named Destiny. Destiny is a kind of progenitor of the entire online leftist streaming space. His stream is where both Vosh and Hassan Piker got their...
And we should all judge him for that. Okay? Maybe not hate the man. You can hate the man, but don't hate him for this particular thing. He was naive and innocent. And Willie Mack whooped both of these people's ass along with Keffels. But now, some ordinary gamers coming in on and going. Not that I'm co-signing that ordinary gamer completely. His sort of stance on fan service, I think, is a bit extreme. The whole porn thing, he's sort of just dismissing it outright when it's much more complex about the porn addiction thing. But again, it's nuanced, and maybe he's just doing it for tweets. We probably should clarify his stances, and maybe he did in a video. I don't think they're great. They're on certain weird levels.
Start. These people used to be friends, and nowadays, not so much. And that is reflected in their community. The only evidence implicating Destiny was a quote tweet where he called her cringe. Ooh, the shock. It was posted 2 hours after the raid. Despite this, Clara and her community insisted it was his fault. Once again, there was no evidence he had any involvement, yet she used it as justification to...
No evidence, or very little evidence taken out of context, okay? Keep this in mind. Another reason to cover this. Misinfo sort of snowball effect within an echo chamber community who do not want to accept the facts outside of them.
To deplatform him. Her first response was to try to get his Twitter mass reported and banned. She set her sights on his Twitch channel, launching what can only be described as a full-fledged character assassination. There are countless examples of her legitimate slander and flat-out lies about Destiny. He detailed the worst of her behavior in an extensive document he published back in 2022. And I'm only going to touch on a few examples because this video is going to be as long as it is. The first thing to point out is she was successful in depriving him of one of his main sources of income. She painted Destiny as transphobic for not supporting trans women competing in sports with cis women. Even if you disagree with this, that doesn't necessarily make Destiny transphobic. It's a fringe pressure point of a much larger, broader issue. It's a highly specific, contentious issue and an unfair characterization of his broader catalog.
And you could say the same about DEI hiring and training. Okay, it's a very contentious issue. Okay, maybe have someone on a component. They should definitely try to understand what Jade Law. If they really want to push this, they should understand the sort of pushback. This is what I legitimately hate. They can't let, it's all bad, okay? There's no distinction made, okay? It's the same shit that I fucking hate the leftists for doing, making J.K. Rowling saying she's transphobic, okay? I don't even like J.K. Rowling. Not even the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I still will be like, okay, like the Warren Smith thing. Why do you think she's transphobic, okay? And just totally... you took that student through the fucking steps to be like, okay, maybe she's not transphobic. Why can't anyone do that? Because the narrative is important to these people. It's important to the leftists, important to even the more milquetoast leftists that definitely follow this, like Mischief and other people I've covered before. It's important to some of the rightoids who aren't that right. They're moderate. They'll stand up for certain things. I think Mudahar from That Ordinary Gamer is one of these moderate, very moderate. I don't know if he's slightly left or slightly right. Maybe a centrist is the best way of describing him.
Regardless, her labeling garnered enough support to get Destiny banned off of Twitch within 24 hours for hate speech. She immediately took credit gloating about taking away his primary source of income. Hey, Steve, I just took away your primary source of income. Please leave me alone and stop bullying trans people for content. He picked a fight with me. He got banned. I won. This behavior was not only encouraged, but rewarded with 30,000 new followers that week. An important thing to remember is that if you're banned off Twitch, you cannot appear on the site at all. For the longest time, you couldn't even show his face on screen without getting in trouble. Now that he couldn't defend himself, she spread even more blatant falsehoods. The same day, she baselessly accused Destiny of stealthing, which is secretly removing a condom during sex without the partner's consent. This is generally considered a form of you-know-what, which Clara brings up in her accusation.
I heard about Brandy first when I was in 7th grade. The reason why I liked it, because everyone else liked it. Brandy Melville taps into the worst.
Goddamn, didn't catch that.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I take a step away.
Is legitimately a
like
form
5 feet away.
insane.
See, her mistake is she's really going for it. She tried to explain it. You know what? She shouldn't have tried to explain any of this shit. Okay? Her sort of the money she got should have just not explained it. Okay? That would have worked out much better for her. Okay? Look how it's working for Grums. People come after him for his game, which he softly promoted with Nick. He obfuscates like, I didn't even really talk about it. I only talked about it when he exposed it. Yeah. Oh, yes. Give me shit for using proper pronouns. Figures as much. Okay. I'll use proper pronouns with Keffel. Sorry. I'll respect her pronouns, but not her personality.
Insane shit.
To this day, there has never been any evidence or even an allegation made towards Destiny about this. She walked it back shortly after, which shows just how callous she is towards claims of such a serious nature. But because he was deplatformed, she was able to further a false narrative to her chat, as well as tens of thousands of people on Twitter. They all either assumed she was being honest or didn't care she was slandering him because they had already disliked Destiny. In retrospect, her behavior paints a clear picture of how...
Yep. Exactly. When you have a bias already against someone, they can throw whatever claims they want. I wonder if you can see. Bacon. You're making me hungry, man. Okay, stop it. I'm full. But bacon.
She would conduct herself in the future. It wasn't long into this drama that Keffels got noticed by the site Kiwi Farms, who started a thread about her on March 26, 2022. Clara quickly tried to guilt Destiny by association, claiming he used the forum and was even friends with the owner. And what was the reasoning? Well, because apparently he has an account is because he was a target on the site since 2017 with his own board. All his posts are arguing with trolls in his own thread. He was also never friends with Null, who is the owner of...
Taking a personal aside here, there's also I think there's a thread for Grums on Kiwi Farms also. Not going to really get into it. It's just an interesting thing. There's some questions there.
Kiwi Farms. He has also gone on record to wish him death several times. Null, by the way, wishing death on Destiny.
And this is while he's out, I guess. And it's just like he's super gross. And sometimes he says things which are funny or agreeable. And it's like, I wish I could like you, bro, but you're creepy and gross and weird. And your brain's all up and your shit's all and you talk like a so we can't be friends. And I kind of think the world would be better off with you.
Clara knew this, but intentionally spread a lie that they met 10 years ago on the game StarCraft. When confronted, she admitted, I know, I wanted him to respond to the accusation. It was bait. At this point, I should probably take some time to explain exactly what Kiwi Farms is. Kiwi Farms is an online website dedicated to discussing internet figures. Okay, you probably heard about internet...
Okay, this is where you lose me. Okay, you're fine enough. Okay, I sort of make my point. Definitely worth, if you're into the anti-woke movement or anything like that, looking at the videos on Keffels, some ordinary gamer, anyone like that, know your enemy. That's what I'm going to propose. I like Willie Mack. He's the he whiplashed fucking Hassan. Made that man his bitch because he underestimated him. Was it because Hassan was so woke and defended such woke things? No, because he spread misinformation. He did the same to Vosh, okay? Got the list of heat of Doomer Media and just whipped that bitch when it came available. When something came, he was in the limelight, just whipped that bitch and his fucking brain dead rot ideas. He did the same with Keffels back in the day and reiterated with a video much sooner. He probably even worked, I don't know. Okay, let me not spread misinformation. He highlighted Keffels to probably make it possible. There's a lot of people highlighting all the problems with Keffels. Probably the biggest target on his head. Yeah. Generally good with information there. Okay. They tend to have a little bit of a tongue. I think Kiwi Farms get too bad of a rap. Okay. There's some bad, annoying people there, but it's something that goes. But frankly, I don't know why some of these anti-woke people don't actually go against some of the more woke leftists online. They would rather go with these no-name CMs and these devs who dare go against their narrative or that they can play the victim with. It's just so much bullshit. I can't abide by it. You know, frankly, I'm seeing Grums' movement as being completely on board with cancel culture. I don't know how they can defend it. That's what they're doing. I really wish they would get the fuck off that and attack their ideas and not actually these little fucking people. Because those ideas that a lot of leftists prescribe to, they're going down. They are ripe for being expunged. But you start going for the people, that's a different thing. Go for the ideas and not the people. The people, and especially why you fucking have the most bad faith interpretations of everything. We even within good faith interpretations of a lot of these people, Denham's, fucking Alyssa Mark, however you say that fucking last name, her contacting JT Smash. Yeah, I want to know the context around it. Still crossing a fucking big ass line that you don't need to call her insane, stalker, doxing someone. It's bad enough on its own. You harp on someone long enough. You get an animal in the corner. She's worried about her job. Of course, she's going to freak out. And she needs to fucking touch grass. Okay. She needs to do it, especially after this. If it's true that her family was doxxed and all that sort of shit. Yeah. Okay. Tell me I should shut up now. And I think that's true. Okay. Made it long enough. I added everything I wanted to. Hopefully, I can return to some not Gamergate 2 fuckery around. Hopefully, they're gonna mitigate themselves, and I can come back and be like, Gamergate 2 is so reformed. They were fucking on this cancel culture path for such a long time, but you know what? They calmed down. They're doing good. Even Grums. I wish them the best. I wish them the best for creating a community that is that strengthens the gamer and doesn't need to knock other people down. Knock their ideas down all you can, okay? But oh god, just the fucking optics of it, and they're just going down a hole I can't agree with. So you know what? Taking a break on that train. Oh, I'm still stuck on fucking actually I'm just way too ADHD. I got bored with freaking Persona 3 Reloaded. I'm trying to end that, but then I went back and played Prey. Okay, but also there's another game I didn't finish. Fucking hell, what is it called? I don't know. I can't think of it right now. It's a RPG of something. Quite interesting, quite interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll make an update on that at some point. Maybe I'll do a review on some of those games. I don't jump on things right away. Still fucking haven't gotten to Baldur's Gate 3. I'll wait until it comes down in price. I don't need to jump on everything instantly. Another problem with all these people, they jump on everything immediately. And like with like such mob tactics, it just fucking annoys me. Take your time, take your research, all that shit about freaking Sweet Baby Inc. and the games that are done by Sweet Baby Inc. I came out against the sort of misinformation there, the misunderstanding. Hell, I still think Helldivers 2 being on DI detected DI free list is probably a little bit sus because of some information there. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it would be I would think it would be even more of a unpopular stance just because there's a lot of people who worked on such DI infested games like Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok who have an overlap. But I don't know about the individual actors. My only point is let's go with facts, not change the definition, not change the definition of words to suit my party's interpretation, no matter what side, and fucking have a little bit of a common sense when trying to fucking paint people as fucking mastermind villains, okay? Yeah, Kotaku, it sucks. It's gonna die. They don't have the power. Strike, kicking the guy while it's down, okay? All the members, they're gonna be fucked, okay? People defending it, or even Bellamy Gaming is definitely the most egregious example. Cover that stream if you want. Probably could have done it better, but fuck it. I'm just going. Yeah. I thought you were playing. Never mind. Never mind. You play it. Yeah. It's good to go back to those good games. Prey, I can't believe I missed out on that particular game, Lucifer. That is a damn good game. Although the DLC I bought, a little bit lame for it, but the base game, pretty badass. Okay. And with that sort of said, I'm done.